Chapter 1779. Since the mark on Xiao Li's body had been removed, the witchcraft sect had completely lost the means to find Qin Feng. At this time, Qin Feng and the others had arrived at the Binji market. Originally, he planned to go straight to the White Spirit Mountain marked on the Violet Cloud Valley's map to look for the White Spirit Divine Bird. However, the Binji market was holding a genius convention. Qin Feng wasn't interested in this convention, but the reward for the first place of the convention was very attractive. The reward was very generous. There were all kinds of grade 6 golden pills and even grade 7 king pills. There were also some spiritual weapons and cultivation methods. However, Qin Feng was most interested in the black gravel steel and star tempest sand. These two rare materials were the main materials needed to forge the confinement in the out-of-print interface. If Qin Feng could get his hands on them, he would only be missing a white spirit feather to forge the confinement. Previously, Qin Feng had asked Little Pig about the confinement being a high-grade true weapon that had the magical effect of freezing. Although Qin Feng wasn't sure what it meant, he knew that this true weapon was definitely not simple. "Master, are we going to participate in the Genius Convention?" Xiao Li and Qin Feng had a tacit understanding without words. She only needed a glance from Qin Feng to understand her master's thoughts. Qin Feng glanced at Zhang Ku, who was foolishly wandering on the street, and sighed inwardly. He had fooled this girl a few hundred times in vain. The reward for the first place of the Genius Convention is very important to me. Let's go and have a look first. Qin Feng finally decided to go and have a look. The Binji market was a big city in the Jiangchuan region. There were many cultivators on the street, including Buddha Light Realm experts. Occasionally, he could even see a few true Spirit Realm cultivators walking by. In such an environment, Qin Feng wasn't confident that he could take the first place of the Genius Convention. He didn't even know what the Genius Convention was and what the content of the competition was. However, what surprised Qin Feng was that Xiao Li had already broken through from Great Ghost Realm Level 9 to Ghost King Realm Level 1 in less than a day after leaving the witchcraft sect. According to Xiao Li, it was the millions of Yin souls in the soul-suppressing orb that helped her break through. "Big brother Qin Feng, there are a few bad guys over there. Go and teach them a lesson." Zhang Ku suddenly ran back angrily. When she was in a frenzy, she would only think of Qin Feng when she was in trouble. Qin Feng casually looked over and saw 4 men walking towards him. Among them, the one with the highest cultivation was only at the first transformation of Buddhist light, while the other 3 were still at the Saint King realm. With Zhang Ku's current strength, she wouldn't be afraid even if she encountered a Buddha Light advanced stage cultivator. But soon, Qin Feng realized that Zhang Ku's power had most likely disappeared. This had happened in Huaxia. Qin Feng guessed that it was because her genes hadn't been completely strengthened. "Young lady, don't go. Aren't you trying to find out why the street is so lively? Big brother can tell you that today is the day of the Binji City Market Square's Genius Meet. Big brother has an admission ticket to the meet. Do you want to accompany Big brother to watch?" With a flash of Buddhist light, the bearded cultivator walked over to Qin Feng with a wretched smile. "This is my friend. Move aside if you have nothing to do with him." Qin Feng's expression turned cold. If it wasn't for the fact that he wanted to keep a low profile and avoid trouble, he would have killed that reckless fellow with a single palm strike. Only then did the bearded cultivator notice Qin Feng. Previously, his eyes were fixed on Zhang Ku's chest. With just a glance at Qin Feng, the bearded cultivator revealed a look of contempt. At this time, Qin Feng had changed into Qiao Feng's appearance and his cultivation was deliberately suppressed to the Saint King late stage. The main reason why he changed his identity was to avoid being hunted by the witchcraft sect. Qin Feng guessed that the witchcraft sect must have found out about his identity. Now, many cultivators in the North Sand continent had seen his appearance. If he was recognized by someone and secretly told the witchcraft sect, he would be in big trouble. Humph. Who do you think you are? If you know what's good for you, get lost. Otherwise, you won't be able to leave even if you want to. The bearded cultivator didn't back down. He glared at Qin Fen with a ferocious look. Then, 3 men walked over and immediately surrounded Qin Fen. Each of them looked arrogant. Open your dog eyes and take a good look. We are all disciples of the Raging Flame sect. This is our Raging Flame sect's genius senior brother Xingyang. We specially came here to participate in the genius meet. You are nothing in front of senior brother Xingyang. Little girl, why are you following that ant? Why don't you join our Raging Sun sect? In the future, senior brother Xingyang will take care of you. The 3 men didn't put Qin Fen in their eyes. Although Qin Fen's cultivation level was slightly higher than 2 of them, they had senior brother Xingyang's Buddha aura transformation backing them up. After knowing their identities, Qin Fen was amused. He had heard of the Raging Flame sect before. It was a 4-star sect in the Jiangchuan region. Back then, when Qin Fen became famous in Merchant City, the Raging Flame sect leader had even paid him a visit and suggested to cooperate with the China Chamber of Commerce. However, at that time, Qin Fen could tell that the Raging Flame sect leader wasn't a good person. His words and actions were all glib, so Qin Fen rejected the cooperation. When he saw the ugly faces of Xingyang and the rest, Qin Fen knew that his decision back then was correct. Although the China Chamber of Commerce was developing rapidly, it wouldn't cooperate with any trashy faction. That would destroy the Chamber of Commerce sooner or later. You ants, don't you dare be rude to your master. Shaoli was enraged. She couldn't stand anyone bullying Qin Fen. Fortunately, her cultivation level was too low. Otherwise, she would have already taught these reckless fools a lesson. Xingyang and his 3 junior brothers looked at Shaoli, and a green light flashed in their eyes. They began to feel jealous of Qin Feng. This brat was just a Saint King Realm cultivator, but he had 2 beautiful women by his side. Hee hee. Don't be angry, my lady. Big brother can see that you don't have any aura on you. Don't tell me you can't cultivate. As long as you are willing to follow me, I can guarantee that you can cultivate. How about it? Xingyang's greed was insatiable. He hadn't settled the matter with Zhang Kuku, but he already had ideas about Shaoli. Since he had never come into contact with a ghost cultivator, he couldn't see through Shaoli's aura. He thought that Shaoli was just an ordinary woman. Shaoli was instantly enraged. Just as she was about to slap him, Qin Fen took a step forward and said to Xingyang with an indifferent expression, "Do you have an admission ticket to the genius competition?" The topic changed so quickly that Xingyang couldn't react for a moment. Ha! An admission ticket is nothing. I still have a participation jade token. After regaining his senses, Xingyang put on an arrogant expression. It seemed like not everyone could obtain a participation jade token. Is there a name restriction on the participant's jade token? Qin Fen continued to ask. You don't know. You're really an inexperienced ant. Let me teach you a lesson. There is no name restriction on the participant's jade token, but it's not easy to obtain one. You need to be at least a 4-star sect or a family to apply for it. Even our Raging Flame faction only managed to get 3 jade tokens, and one of them was given to me. Now you know how noble your grandfather's identity is. Qin Fen acted as if he didn't hear Xingyang's boasting. He said indifferently, "Very good. I'll give you a chance now. Leave your participation jade token behind and you can leave in peace." Xingyang and his 3 junior brothers were stunned. They thought that there was something wrong with their ears. They looked at Qin Fen as if they were looking at an idiot. They couldn't understand where this guy got his confidence from to say such arrogant words. Are you crazy? I'll also give you a chance. Leave your storage ring and get lost. Otherwise, I'll break your limbs and cripple your cultivation. Xing Yang's words were arrogant. On the divine continent, crippling someone's cultivation was the same as killing them. Zhang Kuku and Xiao Li were furious. Unfortunately, Zhang Kuku's strength was gone, and Xiao Li was not strong enough. Slap. However, at this moment, the dull sound of a slap rang out, attracting the attention of many people. Xing Yang covered his swollen face with his hand. His eyes were filled with disbelief. Qin Fen's attack was too fast, and he didn't even have the chance to react. Who dares to hit our senior brother Xingyang? Do you know who senior brother Xingyang is? He's a genius disciple from the 4-star sect, the Raging Flame faction. The 3 junior brothers were even more confused. They were still looking around for the person who hit them. Even though Xingyang didn't see how Qin Fen did it, he was sure that Qin Fen was the one who hit him. Seeing his 3 junior brothers' idiotic behavior, Xingyang couldn't wait to cut off all ties with them. Brat, how dare you hit me? I'll teach you a lesson. Xingyang roared and punched at Qin Fen. His Buddhist aura transformation was fully displayed when he punched. A gust of wind blew around him, and his powerful aura forced some of the weaker cultivators to retreat. Slap. This punch was very ferocious, but when it landed, it made a crisp sound. Under the surprised gazes of the crowd, Qin Fen casually grabbed Xingyang's iron fist and easily caught it. The atmosphere was a little strange. Xingyang was shocked. He knew the power of his punch very well. Only a late-stage Buddhist aura cultivator could easily break his attack. However, he clearly checked Qin Fen's realm before, and he was just an ant in the 9th stage Saint King realm. Could it be that Qin Fen hid his strength? It was unexpected that such a young late-stage Buddhist aura cultivator could be so young. The eldest senior brother saw through Qin Fen's real realm, but the 3 junior brothers obviously didn't know. Someone shouted, "Senior brother Xingyang, don't let that brat win. Show him something." "Senior brother, there are so many cultivators watching. We can't embarrass the sect." Xingyang was furious. He tried to pull his fist back, but he found that Qin Fen's palm was like a vice, and he couldn't move it at all. "Young hero, we have no enmity between us. How about we resolve this matter now?" Xingyang suddenly said. The 3 junior brothers' mouths were wide open, and they even suspected that there was something wrong with their ears. However, they heard Qin Fen say coldly, "I've already said it. Leave your participation token, or don't think about leaving so easily." More and more cultivators gathered to watch, and many people pointed at them. Some unpleasant words entered Xingyang's ears, and he was so angry that his face turned red. "Brat, I know you hid your strength, but don't go too far. The Raging Flame sect I belong to is a 4-star sect in the Jiangchuan area. If you don't let go, slap." Before he could finish, Qin Fen slapped him. "I won't let go. What can you do to me?" Chapter 1780. Xingyang was stunned by the slap. He knew that he might not be a match for Qin Feng, but he had already announced the name of the Raging Fire School and expressed his intention to make peace, yet this guy still dared to make a move. He was not giving him face at all. "Brat, don't push your luck." Xingyang roared angrily, but was met with a new slap. This time, Qin Feng's attack was very fierce, and 2 of Xingyang's front teeth flew out. "Don't use the bullshit Raging Fire sect to scare me. What's there to show off about a mere 4-star sect? I'll give you 3 more seconds to consider. If you don't hand over your participation jade badge, you don't have to take it." Xingyang's heart was already filled with fear, but if he submitted in front of so many cultivators, he wouldn't have the face to continue living in the River Delta region. Just when he thought Qin Fan wasn't on guard, he suddenly struck out with his palm, causing a gust of wind to kick up. This palm strike clearly contained all of his strength, but unfortunately, before the palm energy could land on Qin Fan, he was sent flying. What a reckless fellow. Since you're so eager to die, I'll fulfill your wish. Qin Fang's patience ran out. A golden light flashed and the flying sword flew towards the fallen Jing Yang. The sword light was so fast that Jing Yang couldn't even see it clearly. However, he felt a strong sense of danger enveloping him. He quickly threw out a jade tablet and shouted, "Senior, please spare my life. You can have the jade tablet." Boom! His words were still a bit too slow. Qin Feng couldn't stop in time, and he didn't plan on stopping either. The flying sword pierced through Jing Yang's body, and with a loud sound, Jing Yang disappeared from the northern sand region. The 3 disciples of the Raging Fire sect were stunned on the spot. They no longer had the arrogance they had before. The surrounding cultivators also revealed a look of fear. Many of them knew Jing Yang. That guy was a genius disciple of the Raging Fire sect, a powerhouse who had already stepped into the Buddha light realm. Who is this young hero? He doesn't look more than 30 years old, but he was able to instantly kill a Buddha light realm expert. He looks familiar. I think I met him when I was exploring the Fallen God Sea. That young hero must be a core disciple of a 5-star sect or clan in the northern sand region. Perhaps he's here to participate in this year's Genius Meet. Qin Feng paid no attention to the discussions. He put away his jade token and left with Zhang Kuku and Shaoli without killing the 3 disciples of the Raging Fire sect. Qin Feng's main purpose in coming to Jiangchuan was to go to Bailing Spirit Mountain. Now that he had offended the witch sect, he didn't want to cause any more trouble. If it wasn't for that bastard Jing Yang seeking death, he wouldn't have bothered with him. Following the direction of the crowd, the 3 of them arrived at the Binji Market's main square. The plaza was so huge that one couldn't see the end of it. It was already surrounded by cultivators, and the scene was comparable to that of the Elixir Association and the Chamber of Commerce. Look, that man standing under the stone lion on the north side of the plaza is the eldest disciple of the Northern Sand Region's #1 sect, the Invincible sect, Wu Jin. Rumor has it that he stepped into the 6 Changes Buddha aura at the age of 35. He's one of the hot favorites to win this year's Genius Meet. It'll be difficult for Senior Wu Jin to win. I'm more optimistic about the genius female cultivator Yuan Xue of the Northern Sand Region's #1 clan, the Yuan clan. She's a Tier 1 Tier 7 pill king. Stop being love-struck. Yuan Xue is a proud daughter of the Northern Sand Region. She's like Square Tower's Su Ru'er. Both of them are high and mighty women. How could she fall for ordinary people like us? I wonder if the previous Northern Sand Region's #1 genius, Senior Luce Fong, will come. He's also a strong candidate to win. Are you muddle-headed? Binji Market's Genius Meet is held once every 10 years. The participating cultivators must be below the age of 50. If Senior Luce Fong is over 50 this year, how can he still participate? And 1T/P at the conference had not started yet, but the cultivators gathered around the square and chatted enthusiastically. It seemed like it was not only the people on Earth who liked to gossip, even the divine venerable continent was the same. Qin Feng heard a lot of information and heard a few familiar names. Only now did he know that Wandering Fong was the previous North Sand Region's #1 genius. He had never heard Wandering Fong mention this before, which showed how low profile he was. Qin Feng used Xing San Fong's strength to estimate the standards of the genius competition. Currently, Xing San Fong had reached the peak of the Buddhist Aura 9 transformations and was a rank 3 rank 7 pill king. Even 10 years ago, he was at least a Buddhist Aura intermediate stage cultivator and his pill refining skills should have reached the level of a pill king. It could be seen that it would not be easy to become the champion of this genius competition. Big brother Qin Feng, it's so crowded here. Are you going to let me join the competition later? Zhang Kuku was an extroverted and lively person. She would go crazy in crowded places. Qin Feng rolled his eyes at her and said, with your current strength, do you think you can participate? Zhang Kuku clenched her fists. She couldn't feel any strength at all. She pouted and complained, "Humph. Don't look down on Kuku. Maybe I'll recover my strength when I go on stage." You silly girl, this is the genius competition, not a fighting competition. It's not only a competition of martial strength, but also pill refining and formation skills. Qin Feng already knew the content of the genius competition from the other cultivators. There were a total of 3 categories: martial arts, pill refining, and formation. The person with the highest score in the 3 categories would be crowned as the North Sand region's #1 genius. These 3 categories were Qin Feng's strong points. He started to look forward to the genius competition. It wasn't to become famous, but to obtain the black gravel steel and star wind sand. Fellow Taoists of the North Sand region, please be quiet. Not long after, a figure landed on the round stage in the middle of the plaza. That person was wearing a fluttering white robe. He looked old, but his eyes were as clear as water. His aura was faintly discernible, but it gave people an unapproachable feeling. Qin Feng's attention was immediately attracted by the old man. He tried to sense the old man's cultivation level, but he couldn't understand it at all. The plaza instantly became quiet. Many people were like Qin Feng, they didn't know the old man's identity, nor could they see his cultivation level. However, everyone could feel the old man's strength. He might even be a void god stage powerhouse. The Binji Market's once-in-a-decade genius competition is here again. On behalf of the Binji Market, I would like to thank all the cultivators who came from afar. The reason why the Binji Market holds the genius competition is to encourage the North Sand region's cultivators to cultivate, and to strengthen everyone's belief in cultivation. As we all know, the North Sand region has the least spiritual energy among the 4 great continents of the ultimate god continent. The overall cultivation level of the North Sand region is not as good as the other 3 continents, so we've always been looked down upon by the other 3 continents' cultivators. However, this old man doesn't think so. I've always believed that there are many talented cultivators in the North Sand region, and their belief in cultivation is stronger. Not long ago, our North Sand region's cultivators managed to refine the spiritual surge pill. This miraculous pill shocked the entire ultimate god continent. May I ask if there's anyone in the South Flat continent, West Sea continent, or even the East Field continent who can refine the spiritual surge pill? The old man's words made the cultivators below the stage excited. All along, the North Sand region's cultivators had always felt inferior. However, at this moment, they felt that the cultivators from the other 3 continents were just as so-so. Senior Barefoot Enlightened Being is right. Our North Sand region's cultivators are not bad at all. Someone called out the old man's name. Qin Feng was shocked. This ordinary-looking old man turned out to be an immortal venerable. It was rumored that he had already stepped into the void god realm. Qin Feng's horizons had been broadened recently. He had come into contact with the height of an immortal venerable. Not long ago, when he broke through the 3 changes of Buddha aura in the Spirit Immortal Kingdom, he attracted 2 immortal venerables because of the 9 changes True Thunder. He didn't expect to see another one at the Binji City Square today. Many people suddenly realized that the old man on the stage was the famous Barefoot Enlightened Being from the North Sand region 100 years ago. Many cultivators subconsciously looked at the old man's feet. He really wasn't wearing shoes. Rumor has it that Senior Barefoot Enlightened Being has already stepped into the void god realm. May I ask how many cultivators from the other 3 continents have stepped into the void god realm? Senior Barefoot Enlightened Being is the role model for us North Sand region cultivators. One day, when cultivators from other continents mention the North Sand region, their eyes will be filled with reverence. After the old man's identity was revealed, there were cheers and praises from the audience. Barefoot Enlightened Being's expression didn't change. When the crowd quietened down, he said, "I'm already old. If the North Sand region wants to rise, it's up to you juniors. Everyone shouldn't learn from me. You should learn from the cultivator who concocted the Spirit Surge pill. I heard that he's not even 30 years old, yet he has such achievements. Even I am amazed." The appearance of the Spirit Surge pill could be said to be a blessing to all the cultivators in the North Sand region. This pill could awaken a cultivator's spiritual roots, and cultivators with spiritual roots would have their cultivation speed doubled. Barefoot Enlightened Being is right. The young hero who made the Spirit Surge pill is called Qin Feng. He's the pride of our North Sand region. Someone shouted, and instantly, the crowd became excited. I was fortunate enough to see young hero Qin Feng once. He's indeed young. I'm afraid he's not even 25 years old. Rumor has it that young hero Qin is a Tier 7 pill king, and his cultivation has also reached the Buddha Aura realm. If everyone in the North Sand region had young hero Qin's extraordinary achievements, may I ask what the cultivators of the other 3 continents are? The voices were like a tidal wave, and they were all discussing Qin Feng. Looking at the excited cultivators around him, Qin Feng's forehead was filled with black lines. He didn't expect himself to be so famous in the North Sand region. "Master, are they talking about you?" Shaoli looked at Qin Feng in disbelief. Zhang Kuku excitedly shouted, "Of course it's Big Brother Qin Feng. That Spirit Surge pill was refined by Big Brother Qin Feng." This silly girl's shout was so loud that Qin Feng hurriedly covered her mouth in fright. Many cultivators looked over, but because Qin Feng had changed his appearance to Chao Feng, no one recognized him. Seeing everyone's excitement, Barefoot Enlightened Being happily nodded his head. He waved his hand and said, "All right. Today's focus is still the Genius Competition. I now announce that the 35th Genius Competition officially begins." After saying this, Barefoot Enlightened Being disappeared with the wind. Only now did everyone realize that what they saw was only a clone of him. 4 figures landed on the high platform. They were the 4 judges of this year's Genius Competition. These 4 were all great elders of famous sects in the River Creek area, and the lowest cultivation was at the 5th True Spirit realm. Chapter 1781. Fellow Taoists, Daoist Barefoot has just announced the start of the Genius Competition. We will now begin the first round of martial arts competition. Participants, please enter the arena. One of the 4 judges stood up. Qin Feng had seen this person before. It was the Northern Sand region's #1 city, Jiang City's Jiang Fei Yan. The lightning tribulation had lured him to the Spirit Immortal Kingdom. Jiang Fei Yan's status in the Northern Sand region was extremely high. When he stood up, there was a commotion below the stage. Many cultivators jumped onto the stage. They were all participating cultivators. However, when some of them flew to the edge of the stage, they were sent flying by a formless shockwave. Qin Feng was startled. He didn't know what was going on. However, he quickly understood. Those cultivators that were sent flying probably didn't have a jade token and were trying to bluff their way through. Thinking about this, Qin Feng leapt up and landed on the stage. It seemed that his previous guess was right. At this moment, there were already over 10,000 cultivators on the stage. It was clear that the competition in this Genius Competition was extremely intense. However, the one chosen was the #1 genius of the Northern Sand region, so it wasn't strange for there to be such a scene. Qin Feng scanned the crowd and saw many familiar faces. Some of them were the cultivators who had broken the 9 dragons' grand array on the Godfall Sea Island with him. There were also some disciples of the forces that were working with the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce. Seeing that all the participating cultivators had gone on stage, Jiang Fian continued, "The Binji City Market Square's genius competition has been held for a long time, but considering that there are new powers joining every year, I will briefly explain the competition rules. There are 3 rounds of competition: martial arts competition, pill refining competition and formation competition. Every round has an elimination system. The average score of the participants will be used as the standard for elimination. The final round will be based on the total score of the 3 rounds to determine the top 50 genius cultivators of the Northern Sand region." After the introduction, Qin Feng understood the process of the genius competition. He was very confident in his own strength. At the very least, getting into the top 10 in the Northern Sand region wouldn't be a problem. However, the reason he participated in the genius competition was to get first place. If he didn't get first place in the end, it would be meaningless even if he got the title of Northern Sand region's top 10 genius cultivators. After the introduction of the competition rules, the first round of martial arts training officially began. Because there were too many participating cultivators, the competition had also formulated an elimination system. Each cultivator had 3 chances to fight, and if they failed in any of the rounds, they would be eliminated. Qin Feng made some calculations. This sort of elimination system was already very cruel. Even if 10,000 cultivators participated in the martial arts gathering, after the 3 matches, only 1,250 cultivators would be able to qualify for the assessment. However, even though the competition rules were cruel, Qin Feng didn't care too much. After all, the Grand Assembly of Geniuses held by the Binji City Market had a limit on the age of the participants. Only young cultivators under the age of 50 had the qualifications to sign up. Within this age range, Qin Feng's current cultivation was already considered top-notch. In the huge square, the participating cultivators were drawing lots to determine their opponents. Qin Feng looked at the bamboo lot in his hand. On it was written Jing Sun, a disciple of the Raging Fire sect. Every participant had to report their sex information. Qin Feng reported the name of the Spirit Immortal Kingdom. When he saw the 3 words Raging Fire sect, Qin Feng laughed in his heart. He had heard from Jing Yang that the Raging Fire sect had only managed to obtain 3 spots to participate in the competition. He didn't think that among the tens of thousands of cultivators, he would coincidentally bump into one of their disciples. The huge square had already been divided into tens of thousands of small arenas by arrays. Each arena had a trap array, so the fights inside wouldn't disturb the other cultivators. When Qin Feng jumped into one of the arenas, he couldn't help but exclaim in his heart. This square was vast and boundless, but someone had actually set up tens of thousands of powerful trap arrays. Moreover, these trap arrays seemed to be separated, but they were actually a whole. This was at least a grade 9 array. Qin Feng had heard that the most powerful array master in the North Sand region was only a grade 5 spiritual array master. Then, where did this array that was comparable to a grade 9 array come from? Haha! You're unlucky to have met this old man. This old man will give you a chance to beg for mercy. As long as you kneel and kowtow 3 times, then withdraw from the competition, I won't do anything. Before Qin Feng could understand the origin of the array in front of him, an arrogant and strange laugh sounded in his ear. Looking up, it was the disciple of the Raging Flame clan who had gone up the stage. However, Qin Feng had already realized that the other party wasn't a disciple of the Raging Flame clan. Looking at his age, he was most likely a young elder of the Raging Flame clan. You're not over 50. Qin Feng was a bit puzzled. The other party's face was full of wrinkles and his hair was gray. Just looking at his appearance, he was at least 60 years old. How did he participate in the competition? Zheng Sun's old face darkened and he snorted, You ignorant brat, this old man is only 49 years old this year. I'm just in time for the genius competition's age limit. Qin Feng suddenly understood. It wasn't that the extreme coast city square was letting him win, but that the cultivator in front of him looked old. He wasn't even 50 years old, but he already looked 60 years old. At the same time, Qin Feng quickly checked the other party's cultivation. He should have just stepped into the 3 changes of the Buddhist light. With this kind of strength, Qin Feng didn't care at all. Speaking of the Raging Flame clan, I have some history with your clan. Qin Feng said. Jing Sun's face was cold and arrogant. Humph. Don't try to get close to me. I've already said it very clearly. Either kneel and kowtow and withdraw from the competition, or I'll cripple you. Make your choice. Qin Feng was startled and quickly realized that the other party misunderstood his meaning. He couldn't help but laugh. I'm not trying to get close to you. I just have a conflict with your Raging Flame clan. Not long ago, I killed a disciple from your clan named Xing Yang. Now, I'll give you a chance to take revenge. Let's see if you have the strength. This time, it was Jing Sun's turn to be startled. When he came back to his senses, he let out a strange cry. I was wondering why I didn't see Xing Yang. He was actually killed by you. You reckless ant, this old man will use your blood to display the might of the Raging Flame clan. Watch my sword. Shwa. A sword cry suddenly rang out. Jing Sun clasped 2 fingers together and struck forward. A sword light flew out. The sword light was swift and fierce. In a flash, it arrived in front of Qin Feng. Many cultivators below the stage screamed when they saw this scene. It was as if they could see Qin Feng being killed in an instant. Even Zhang Kuku and Shaoli were worried. Jing Sun's flying sword was too fast. I know that old man. Don't be fooled by his appearance. He's only 49 years old this year. He's just in time for this year's Genius Assembly. He's the Raging Flame clan's young elder, Jing Sun. He's a Buddhist or a 3rd transformation expert. That young man is unlucky to have drawn him. That young man doesn't look older than 30, but he's facing a 50-year-old opponent. Even the Genius Assembly organized by the Binji market isn't that fair. The Divine Continent has always been a place where the strong are respected. There's no such thing as fairness. As long as your fist is strong enough, your words are the truth. I'm sure that kid won't be able to withstand this sword. It's already good enough that he's alive. First, set a small goal. For example, remember in 1 second, Booksellers Mobile. Chapter 1782. Jing Sun's sword was so fast that it caused many people to scream. 1T/P. However, in the next moment, everyone's faces were filled with shock. That sword didn't pierce through Qin Feng. In fact, it didn't even cause him any damage. Qin Feng stretched out 2 fingers and easily blocked that ferocious attack. 1T/P. Dang. 1T/P greater than 2 fingers caught the sword, and a crisp sound rang out. But because of the soundproof array, the cultivators below the stage couldn't hear the sound. 1T/P. How is this possible? That young man used his fingers to block Jing Sun's sword. 1T/P. That was the sword of a Buddhist light cultivator with all his strength. It can be seen how powerful that young hero's cultivation is. 1T/P. Aha. Looks like we were all wrong. That young man is very powerful. 1T/P. Jing Sun couldn't hear the discussion of the cultivators below the stage, but the moment Qin Feng caught his flying sword, he was so scared that his heart skipped a beat. 1T/P. How did you do that? Jing Sun's voice trembled. 1T/P. However, Qin Feng said sloppily, I can do it easily. Is it that difficult? 1T/P. Xing Sun was so angry that he almost vomited blood. He had the cultivation of the 3 changes of Buddhist light. Of course it was difficult to catch his flying sword. At the very least, one had to reach the late stage of the Buddhist light. But Qin Feng was so young, how could he have reached that stage? 1T/P. Don't be arrogant, brat. Don't think that I don't know you used a magic treasure. Otherwise, how could you stop this old man's flying sword? Xing Sun shouted. 1T/P. Qin Feng looked at him as if he was looking at an idiot and said lazily, "You don't believe me? Then try a few more times." 1T/P. Swish. 1T/P. Just as Qin Feng finished speaking, a gust of wind blew. A pink light flashed in the wind, and there was a strong aura of death. 1T/P. Dang. 1T/P. But there was another crisp sound, and the flying sword was caught by Qin Feng's fingers again. Qin Feng had one hand behind his back, and his feet didn't move at all. He looked extremely light. Holy shit. This young hero is going to defy the heavens. At first, I suspected that he was hiding some kind of magic treasure on him. Now, it seems that he really caught the flying sword with his own strength. I've only seen people catch blades with their bare hands. This is the first time I've seen a flying sword caught between 2 fingers, and 1T/P. More and more cultivators were attracted by Qin Feng's fight, and it had become the place with the most spectators. When the flying sword was caught by Qin Feng for the second time, a terrifying thought arose in Xing Sun's mind. He began to believe that Qin Feng had relied on his own strength to do this. "You, who in the world are you?" Xing Sun asked anxiously. "Isn't it written on the bamboo stick you drew?" "Spirit Immortal Kingdom's Chao Feng," Qin Feng said. "What the hell is the Spirit Immortal Kingdom? How come I've never heard of it?" "It's normal that you haven't heard of it. It's just an ordinary mortal city." "You brat, you dare to trick me. How could a mortal city have a cultivator? I know you're hiding your strength, but I'm not afraid of you." There were many cultivators watching from below the stage. Xing Sun felt that he had lost all face. He didn't waste any more words with Qin Feng. He activated his divine sense, and the pink flying sword shot forward again. Bang bang. This time, the air rippled, and the pink sword light flashed. It was much faster than the previous 2 times. Dang! The result was the same. Qin Feng didn't move at all, and reached out with 2 fingers to catch the flying sword. "I don't believe that I can't deal with you today." Swish! The flying sword rose again, and a gust of wind swept up. With a crisp clang, the flying sword was once again caught by Qin Feng. In the next 15 minutes, this process repeated no less than 100 times. The cultivators below the stage were already dumbfounded. They felt that this was not a martial arts competition, but an acrobatic performance. Is that young hero a disciple of the sword-receiving sect? He specializes in catching all the swords in the world. I can't stand it anymore. Why is it so funny? Ha! Xing Sun has lost all his face, and even the Raging Fire sect has lost face. I can see that the young hero is definitely a top-notch expert. He's playing with Xing Sun. If he makes a move, he can kill Xing Sun in a second. The heated discussions below the stage never stopped. At that moment, almost half of the cultivators had gathered below Qin Feng's stage. Truth be told, the fight was not that intense. However, Qin Feng's technique of catching the flying sword with just 2 fingers was truly amazing. Ayaya! Why you're playing with me on purpose? Xing Sun didn't know how many times he had used the flying sword, but he suddenly came to a realization. Qin Feng smiled and said, "You just realized. Your awareness is really high. How did you cultivate to the Buddhist light realm with this kind of comprehension? Zhang Sun's eyes were bloodshot as he roared at Qin Feng, "You bastard, you can kill me, but you can't humiliate me. Do you dare to use your sword against me? I'll also use 2 fingers to catch it." Qin Feng almost laughed out loud. "Are you sure you want to do this? Stop talking nonsense and quickly use your sword." Xiao. Just as he finished speaking, a golden sword light flashed. The sword was so fast that it couldn't be seen, and it was as if the entire stage was filled with a terrifying killing intent. This was the first time Zhang Sun felt so close to death. His old eyes were filled with fear as he shouted, "Don't kill me, I admit defeat." Bang! The flying sword had already been used, so there was no reason to take it back. Before Zhang Sun could finish begging for mercy, a loud sound came from his body, and he turned into flesh and blood. The heated discussion suddenly froze. Most people didn't see Qin Feng use his flying sword, but they saw Zhang Sun mysteriously explode. There were also some cultivators with higher realms who saw something fishy, but they only saw a flash of golden light. They didn't even see the flying sword clearly. The battle in the training field number 3 has ended. The winner is Qiao Feng from the kingdom of Ling Xian. As soon as Zhang Sun died, Jiang Fian's voice came from the judging panel. After hearing Qin Feng's identity, the cultivators outside the stage were confused. Clearly, no one had heard of the kingdom of Ling Xian. So that young hero is called Qiao Feng. He looks only 25. 6 years old, but he was able to kill Zhang Sun in one move. His cultivation is very high. He is from the kingdom of Ling Xian. Has anyone heard of the kingdom of Ling Xian? Also, the name Qiao Feng is very unfamiliar. Logically speaking, with that young hero's cultivation, he should be quite famous in the northern sand region. It wasn't just the cultivators below the stage who were interested in Qin Feng. After Jiang Fian finished reporting the battle, she looked at Qin Feng with interest. Kingdom of Ling Xian. Could it be the place where the terrifying lightning tribulation appeared a few days ago? Looks like this kingdom of Ling Xian is not simple. Jiang Fian thought to herself. Another 2 hours passed, and the first round of the competition ended. Originally, there were more than 10,000 cultivators, but now, there were only slightly more than 5,000 people left. The drawing of lots for the second round ended. Qin Feng looked at the name on the bamboo stick and frowned slightly. The number 1 sect in the northern sand region, Invincible Sect's genius disciple, Limitless. Just this introduction alone was more domineering than the others. Moreover, the words on the bamboo stick were carved with a golden material, showing the high status of the Invincible Sect. Qin Feng had some understanding of the Invincible Sect. It was said that this was the most powerful 5-star sect in the northern sand region. There were many disciples in the sect, and many of them were at the Buddha's light stage. There was even a group of true spirit stage elders. It was said that the sect leader had gone into seclusion for 100 years, and 100 years ago, the sect leader of the Invincible Sect had already stepped into the late true spirit stage. Qin Feng had already entered the battle arena, but it wasn't the arena where he had fought with Zheng Yang. He looked around, and saw that the other cultivators had also changed arenas. This was probably arranged by the organizers of the Binji City Market, to prevent cultivators from setting up arrays in the same battle arena and cheating. Shwa! The wind blew, and a white figure landed on the battle arena where Qin Feng was standing. When the man appeared, the crowd below the stage went into an uproar. Look! That's the genius disciple of the Invincible Sect, Limitless. He's one of the hot favorites to win this year's genius competition. Senior Limitless versus Qiao Feng. This battle is going to be interesting. That young hero Qiao Feng must have had 8 lifetimes of bad luck. Since he has drawn Senior Limitless, even though he had displayed great strength in the previous battle, I bet he won't be able to last more than 10 moves against Senior Limitless. It's said that Senior Brother Limitless has already stepped into the 6 changes of the Buddha Light, and is invincible in the Buddha Light intermediate stage. The title of the #1 sect in the Northern Sands region wasn't just for show. The Invincible sect was famous throughout the entire continent, and its power was comparable to the 4 Great Pill Workshops and the 10 Great Chambers of Commerce. And Limitless was a junior that the Invincible sect had spent all of its resources to nurture. Among his peers, Limitless was a role model that everyone respected. Although he was in the same generation, he had the title of senior. The battle arena had a soundproof array, so Limitless couldn't hear the shouts of the cultivators below the stage. However, from the excited expressions on their faces and the movement of their lips, he could roughly guess what was going on. "Do you want to forfeit, or do you want me to kill you?" Just as Limitless' feet touched the ground, an arrogant voice floated into Qin Feng's ears. This person looked to be 35. 6 meters tall, and was dressed in a white robe. His long hair fluttered in the wind, and he looked like a handsome man from ancient dramas on Earth. Qin Feng carefully sized him up, and had a rough idea of his strength. This person had already stepped into the 6 changes of the Buddha Light, but there was a powerful aura hidden in his body, and it was obvious that he was much stronger than an ordinary 6 changes of the Buddha Light cultivator. Ever since he had broken through to the 3 changes of the Buddha Light, Qin Feng could oppress a middle-stage Buddha Light cultivator. If he faced a late-stage Buddha Light cultivator, he could definitely kill him. At most, it would just take some time and energy. To be honest, compared to Bai Zhanfei of the True Spirit Realm, who had been killed by him, by Shan and the other great elders of the 9 forms of Buddha's light, and Su Mo Yen of the 7 Stars Monastery, who was a level 4 formation master of the 7 forms of Buddha's light, he was far inferior. This is what I was going to say to you. Are you going to forfeit, or die? Qin Feng replied coldly and arrogantly. Fortunately, no one could hear the conversation between the two of them. Otherwise, the surrounding tens of thousands of cultivators would have exploded. This unfamiliar cultivator called Xiao Feng was truly arrogant. Wu Jin was taken aback. He hadn't expected Qin Feng to spout such arrogant nonsense. Then, he burst into laughter. Ha! You really are an ant that doesn't know the immensity of heaven and earth. You just killed a Buddhist Light 3 transformations cultivator and you want to ascend to the heavens. Do you know how many Buddhist Light cultivators' blood my hands are stained with? Even I can't remember it. Qin Feng realized that the disciples of the big sects in the Northern Sands region were all the same. They always acted high and mighty, and their words were filled with arrogance and disrespect. Really? But you still want to say that you killed some Buddha Light cultivators? My hands are stained with the blood of many true spirit realm cultivators. Have I ever shown off? And 1T/P at first, set a small goal. For example, remember in 1 second, Booksellers Mobile. Chapter 1783. Wu Jin froze for a moment, then looked at Qin Feng with a strange expression. As one of the top 10 genius cultivators of the Northern Sand region, Wu Jin thought that he was good at acting cool. Who would have thought that he would meet someone even better at acting cool? Ha! You killed a true spirit realm cultivator? Why don't you say that you've seen a virtual god stage ultimate god? By the way, someone as powerful as you should have a virtual god realm master, right? Ha! Wu Jin was amused, and his laughter was exaggerated. Qin Feng said with a straight face, Huh? How did you know I have a virtual god realm master? The endless laughter suddenly stopped, but 3 seconds later, even tears came out of his eyes. Ha! You idiot, do you think we're all 3 years old? Why don't you just say that you're the one who refined the Spirit Surge pill and that the Huaxia Chamber of Commerce, which was promoted to one of the top 10 chambers of commerce not long ago, is also yours? Qin Fen was a little nervous. Could it be that Limitless had discovered his identity? However, seeing the other party's arrogant and contemptuous expression, Qin Feng knew that he was overthinking things. You're right. So you understand me so well. Qin Feng took the initiative to admit it because he knew Endless wouldn't believe him. Sure enough, Wu Jin was laughing so hard that he was rocking back and forth. He had completely lost the image of a senior expert. Did Senior Limitless eat something stupid? Why are you laughing so exaggeratedly? The organizers of the Binji market are really thoughtless. Why did they set up a soundproof array? We don't even know what the people inside are saying. Don't you know how to read lips? I already know the conversation between the two of them. Xiao Feng doesn't dare to compete with Senior Limitless, so he's telling jokes to make Senior Limitless happy. Just wait and see, Xiao Feng will voluntarily withdraw from the competition. What kind of joke is so funny? I want to hear it too. Realizing that his image had been tarnished, Wu Jin immediately retracted his smile and stood with his hands behind his back, assuming the demeanor of an expert. And, seeing that you're good at telling jokes, I'll give you another chance to live. Immediately kneel and kowtow, then voluntarily forfeit the competition. I won't do anything. Qin Feng smiled and said, I hate being threatened the most. Those who threatened me before have all disappeared. Of course, Limitless knew what it meant to disappear. It meant that he was dead. Ever since he became one of the top 10 genius disciples of the Northern Sand region, no one had dared to mention the word death in front of him. What an arrogant ant. Let Grandpa teach you a lesson. Exhausting his endless patience, he threw out a punch. It seemed like a light punch, but it caused the airflow in the formation space to tremble. The cultivators below the stage couldn't hear the shocking movement, but just from the speed of the punch, they could feel the ferocity of the punch. Bang! However, Qin Feng didn't back down and met the attack with a punch. The sound of thunder and the roar of a tiger resounded throughout the training field. There was also a subtle sword hum hidden in the loud noise, making it hard for people to hear. The special Great Thunder Tiger Flying Sword Fist was incomparably domineering. Moreover, as Qin Feng's cultivation increased, this fist technique had also become more powerful. The instant their fists collided, Wu Jin's expression changed. He felt as if a bolt of lightning had exploded on his fist. But before he could react, countless sword lights enveloped him. Good boy, I've underestimated you. It's a pity that your strength is still far from enough. Limitless roared and quickly punched out with his left hand. The fist brought with it a gust of wind, which instantly condensed into countless blades that slashed down. Even the air was cut into pieces by the wind blades. Qin Feng didn't have time to think, and he immediately retreated to the edge of the training field. Bang bang bang. The two energies collided in the center of the training field, causing explosions to ring out. There was no sign of it stopping anytime soon. The two of them stood in different corners of the training field, staring at each other from 100 meters away. This exchange could be considered a draw, and the two of them realized just how powerful the other was. Your fist technique is not bad. It's the first time I've seen someone who can attract lightning and sword attacks. Limitless arrogance from before was replaced by vigilance and solemnity. Qin Feng's expression also turned serious. He realized that Limitless' strength was comparable to that of an ordinary 8 changes Buddha or a cultivator. If Limitless wanted to kill him, it would take a lot of effort. Your fist technique is also not bad. You use your fists to lure the enemy, and hidden within your fists is your killing move. If it was an ordinary cultivator, they would have already been killed by you. Limitless eyes flashed. That Chi Saber Fist was one of the Invincible Sect's top 3 martial techniques. Who would have thought that Qin Feng would be able to comprehend its secrets with just one look? Actually, Qin Feng only saw through his opponent's fist technique because he had the special Thunder Tiger Flying Sword Fist. Otherwise, with the power and insidiousness of the Qi Saber Fist, Qin Feng would have definitely fallen for it. This exchange was incomparably ferocious. It was completely different from the previous battle between Qin Feng and Jing Sun. Although the two of them had just started fighting, it had already caused the cultivators below the stage to scream wildly. "I want to see how many moves you can take from me." Limitless punched out again. His heart was filled with rage. He had thought that he could defeat Qin Feng in one move, but he had almost been slapped in the face by his opponent. It was still the same Qi Saber Fist technique, but the wind generated from the fist was even sharper. Hundreds of strands of saber Qi were hidden within it, seemingly cutting off all of Qin Feng's escape routes. However, Qin Feng had no intention of retreating. He also punched out, and a tiger roared. Lightning flashed in his fist, and hundreds of strands of sword light pierced through the air. The ferocious momentum was no weaker than Limitless Qi Saber Fist. When the two fists were tens of meters apart, the air exploded violently. Under this fierce exchange, the heaven-connecting barrier around the martial arts arena fluctuated a few times. A look of shock flashed in Limitless' eyes. At this moment, he truly took Qin Feng seriously. "You're clearly only at the Three Changes Buddhist Aura realm. How could you block my Qi Saber Fist? That can only mean that you're too weak. You have the cultivation of the Six Changes Buddhist Aura, but you can't even defeat a cultivator at the Three Changes Buddhist Aura realm. And you still have the nerve to ask." Qin Feng's words almost angered Limitless to death. He was a genius disciple of the Northern Sand Continent, and he was at the Six Changes Buddhist Aura realm. He wouldn't even be afraid of ordinary cultivators at the Eight Changes Buddhist Aura realm. "Humph. You're just hiding your cultivation. Do you really think I can't see through it?" The arrogance on Limitless' face returned. Qin Feng found it funny. He really hadn't hidden his cultivation. He had only broken through to the Three Changes Buddhist Aura realm not long ago. What's the point of saying so much nonsense? If you have the ability, then defeat me. Qin Feng's fighting spirit soared. Limitless was thoroughly angered. He even felt as if he had been slapped in the face by Qin Feng. "Since you're courting death, I'll fulfill your wish." A loud explosion sounded out. Limitless casually waved his hand, and a ferocious saber slashed down. This saber Qi was even more ferocious than the fist wind from before. Qin Feng could tell that the number one sect in the Northern Sand Continent, the Invincible Sect, was a sect that specialized in saber techniques. Whether it was the saber Qi fist technique or the saber technique, they were all extremely profound and exquisite. But when it came to saber techniques, Qin Feng wasn't any weaker. He immediately swung his saber to meet the attack. The true Yi sword appeared out of thin air, and a sharp saber wind appeared. However, he couldn't see where the saber Qi was. Senior Limitless Saber is so ferocious. Even though I've already stepped into the Seven Changes Buddhist Aura realm, I still feel that I won't be able to block the power of this saber. The Invincible Sect is a sect that specializes in saber techniques. Their saber techniques are profound and exquisite, and they can be said to be the best in the Northern Sand Continent. On the other hand, that young hero Qiao Feng actually dared to clash with Senior Limitless in terms of saber techniques. He's simply courting death. That Qiao Feng saber is so weak. He didn't even form a single strand of saber Qi. The cultivators below the stage cried out in shock. They were even more excited than Qin Feng and Limitless, who were fighting on the training grounds. Almost no one looked favorably upon Qin Feng. Instead, Limitless' expression changed, and his advancing body suddenly froze. What kind of saber technique is that? Limitless had already realized how powerful the shadowless saber was. He couldn't see the saber chi at all, but he could feel the killing intent coming from all directions. At this moment, Qin Feng wasn't feeling too good either. He had also realized how powerful Limitless Saber was. That saber had actually created countless spiraling saber chi. These saber chi were like small vortexes that spun rapidly in the air, not dissipating even after a long time. Break for me. As the saber chi vortex approached him, Qin Feng disregarded all consequences and slashed down with his saber. A several 100-meter-long saber chi exploded, destroying the saber chi vortex in front of him. At this time, Limitless had also broken through Qin Feng's shadowless saber. He stood in the distance and coldly watched. What kind of saber technique is that? Limitless asked again. Self-created shadowless saber, Qin Feng replied. What's the name of your saber technique? The shadowless saber was a saber technique that Qin Feng had comprehended after witnessing Wu Zun's shadowless sword. This saber technique perfected some of the flaws of the shadowless sword, hiding the shadows of the saber technique to the extreme. Even when Qin Feng had fought against some late-stage Buddha light experts, he had used the shadowless saber to gain an advantage. However, after experiencing Limitless saber techniques, Qin Feng suddenly felt that the shadowless saber was a bit clumsy. This saber technique was only mysterious at the beginning. If one could see through it, it would just be an ordinary saber technique. I'm using one of the top 3 martial techniques of the Invincible Sect, Limitless Slash. That attack just now was just a casual test. Now, I'll show you the true power of the Limitless Slash. When he heard Limitless words, Qin Feng had a bad feeling. He had just barely managed to neutralize the previous attack. If Limitless continued to attack, the consequences would be unimaginable. But just as Qin Feng was worrying, Limitless moves had already been unleashed. Suddenly, boundless saber chi surged in the martial arts arena. These saber chi were very strange. They hovered in the air and spun rapidly towards Qin Feng. What kind of saber technique is that? It's simply too amazing. The cultivators below the arena were dumbfounded. Someone exclaimed, I know. This is one of the top 3 martial techniques of the Invincible Sect, Limitless Slash. I was fortunate enough to see Elder Wuxin use it once. The saber chi stopped. It's simply unbelievable. No wonder the disciples of the Invincible Sect are generally more powerful than cultivators of the same level. With this saber technique, it doesn't matter if they're stronger than them. I'm afraid that kid is going to lose. There were many discussions. Qin Feng couldn't hear their voices. Even if he did, he wouldn't have the time to care. At this moment, his body was surrounded by whirling saber chi. He couldn't advance or retreat. Each saber chi vortex seemed to be formed by dozens of saber chi. It even brought about a threat of death to Qin Feng. First, set a small goal. For example, remember in 1 second, Booksellers Mobile. Chapter 1784. Wu Jin's attack was so ferocious that Qin Feng was forced to use the 3rd stage of the Vajra esoteric art, the Scarlet Demonic Body. However, the Scarlet Demonic Body's defense was not as good as expected, and it was clearly unable to withstand the power of the saber chi vortex. Bang bang bang. Dozens of saber chi vortexes collided with Qin Feng's body, producing loud bangs. However, the saber chi vortexes did not disappear and continued to spin in the air like a windmill. Qin Feng's white robe had long been shredded to pieces, revealing his skin. His body was covered in wounds, and he was instantly covered in blood. Big brother Qin Feng, quickly fight back. Master, if you can't beat him, just withdraw from the competition. Zhang Kuku and Xiao Li's hearts were in their throats, and the surrounding cultivators were in an uproar. I knew that Xiao Feng was no match for Senior Wu Jin, but I didn't expect him to be defeated so quickly. This saber skill of the invincible sect is really powerful. If an ordinary cultivator was trapped in it, it would be impossible for him to escape. I don't dare to speculate about the alchemy and formation competitions, but I can say with certainty that Senior Wujin of the Invincible Sect will win the first round of the martial arts competition. At this moment, seeing that Qin Fen was in a predicament and unable to escape, Wujin smiled widely and slashed down with his saber again. Haha! I was wondering how powerful you are, but you're just an ant. Rumble. Hundreds of saber chi vortexes formed and instantly surrounded Qin Fen. The new vortexes quickly merged with the saber chi vortexes, forming an even larger saber chi vortexes. The saber chi vortexes spun even faster. Qin Fen's body crackled violently, and he felt that if this continued, his entire body would be cut into pieces. Little Pig cried out anxiously, and Qin Fen broke out in a cold sweat. This was the most powerful cultivator he had ever seen in his life. Boz! Qin Fen had no time to think. With a slight thought, a layer of water seemed to cover his body. When the saber chi vortexes collided with the water spirit true armor, the violent collision sounds turned into the strange sound of water flowing. What the hell is this? The smile on Wujin's face had completely disappeared. His face was as black as the bottom of a wok. Originally, he was confident that he could kill Qin Feng with that saber strike. Who would have thought that such a situation would occur? The cultivators below the stage screamed. The water spirit true armor was so powerful that it shocked the crowd. This was the water spirit true armor that Qin Feng had obtained from the true artifact drawing scroll. It had extraordinary defense, and even if it encountered a true spirit realm expert's attack, it could still resist for a while. However, Qin Feng noticed that the insides of the water spirit true armor had cracked. This was the power of the endless/cyclone. He didn't dare delay. If the water spirit true armor was damaged to the point where he had to put it back into the 10,000 treasures pavilion, then he really wouldn't have any way to resist the endless slash. Whoosh! Dozens of blade chi cyclones spun around Qin Feng. He stood on his flying sword and hovered motionlessly in the air. However, his hand quickly slashed downwards. The Zhen-Yi sword drew out 100-meter-long sword light in the air, and the air seemed to be split in two. Rumble. The loud noise was fierce, but this sword was just an ordinary inner chi attack. Endless leaped out of the center of the explosion, and a smile reappeared on his face. Ha! Your sword skills are really bad. Do you want your father to give you a few yellow-grade sword skills for free? Oh right, you don't have to learn them, because I plan to kill you here. Qin Feng had long since angered Endless. The two of them had fought to a draw, and this made Endless feel very embarrassed. If he didn't kill Qin Feng in front of everyone, how would he be able to show his face in the northern sand region in the future? But halfway through his laughter, Endless' expression changed. The sound of sword chi exploding could still be heard in the air. However, the sword chi was already very far away from Limitless, and yet there was a strange energy fluctuation. Limitless felt a stabbing pain in his sea of consciousness, and he actually lost consciousness for a moment. This was naturally because of the effect of Qin Feng's sword. That seemingly ordinary attack was actually a divine sense attack from the Zhen-Yi sword. This true spirit sword had already fused with the flower-eyed soul-devouring snake's soul-devouring eye. Back when he had gone to Fei City, he had used his divine sense attack to scare off the Fei Mountain Great Elder and Fei City Lord Fei Baisong. Seeing Endless suddenly stop in mid-air, Qin Feng realized that his divine sense attack had worked. He even felt that the power of the sword chi whirlpool around him had weakened significantly. Without any time to think, Qin Feng raised his sword, and an even more turbulent wave of energy surged towards Endless. Pooh! Endless felt a sharp pain in his spiritual sea, and he couldn't help but spit out a large mouthful of blood. His eyes were empty, but there were traces of shock and fear in them. Even now, he didn't know what had happened. It must be known that divine sense attacks were commonly used by true spirit stage cultivators. Even some Buddha light stage cultivators could use divine sense attacks, but the power was negligible. And Endless was one of the publicly acknowledged geniuses of the Northern Sand region. His body was in the Buddha light 6 transformations, but he didn't even fear a Buddha light late stage cultivator. It was clear that his spiritual C was stronger than an ordinary cultivator's, and he wasn't so easily injured. Why isn't Senior Endless moving? Senior Endless seems to be injured. He spat out a few mouthfuls of blood just now, but I don't see anyone attacking him. Could it be that there's a true spirit stage expert helping him secretly? That young hero Qiao Feng's identity isn't simple. How is that possible? There are 4 highly respected seniors in this year's Genius Conference. Rumor has it that City Lord Jiang has already stepped into the peak of True Spirit Stage 9, and is only a step away from the Nihility God stage. If someone really dared to secretly play tricks, City Lord Jiang wouldn't agree. What's more, there's also the reclusive immortal Reverend Barefoot Daoist. Although he has left, I feel that his doppelganger is still paying attention to this place. This sudden change stunned everyone. Even Zhang Kuku and Shaoli didn't understand what was going on. But seeing that Qin Feng seemed to be gradually gaining the upper hand, the 2 girls finally heaved a sigh of relief. Surnamed Xiao, what the hell are you doing? Endless consciousness was intermittent. When he regained consciousness, he immediately glared at Qin Feng with a cold and murderous expression. You're still very fierce. Looks like you haven't tasted enough. Qin Feng sneered and swung the Zhen-Yi sword in his hand again. Waves of violent magnetic field fluctuations surged in the formation. If a true spirit stage cultivator stood in the formation, he would definitely be frightened by such a powerful divine sense attack. Endless question turned into a scream. His voice was as unpleasant as a pig being slaughtered. It completely overturned his image of a calm genius senior in everyone's hearts. You stop now. Do you believe that I won't kill you? Endless tried to resist with all his might, but to no avail. While screaming in pain, he still threatened Qin Feng, trying to scare him away. This idea was really stupid. Qin Feng had been constantly threatened ever since he came to the Divine Continent. Now, he was even being hunted by the Witchcraft Sect and the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce. But he had never been afraid, so why would he be afraid of a mere Endless? If you want to kill me, then do it. Don't just talk. Not only was Qin Feng not afraid, but he also attacked again. Several divine sense attacks fused together, and the destructive power was huge. Endless was just a Buddha Aura 6 changes cultivator, so the strength of his divine sense was much weaker than Qin Feng's. After another scream, he felt cracks appearing in his divine sense C. If he continued to hold on, his divine sense C would probably explode. Endless finally became nervous. One must know that the divine sense C was extremely important to high-level cultivators. It was even more important than the Dantian Qi. Moreover, the entire northern sand continent did not have any elixirs that could repair the divine sense C for sale. If the divine sense C was destroyed, then the cultivator would be completely crippled. You stop now, or the invincible sect will not let you off. Qin Feng was indifferent, and he swung his sword again. A muffled sound exploded in Endless' mind. His body trembled, and he felt that his divine sense had suddenly weakened by more than half. Don't fight anymore. I admit defeat. Endless no longer had the arrogance he had before. Compared to the divine sense C, face was no longer important. His voice was very loud, but with the soundproof formation, the cultivators below the stage could not hear him. However, there were still some cultivators who could read lips. When they understood the meaning behind Endless words, their eyes widened in shock. Senior Endless actually took the initiative to admit defeat. I can see it too. Senior Endless lip reading just now really meant that he was admitting defeat. What nonsense are you guys talking about? How could Endless admit defeat? Don't tell me you guys were hired by Chao Feng. The news spread quickly among the crowd, but everyone was still skeptical. However, anyone with a discerning eye could see that Wu Jin had unknowingly fallen from the limelight into a predicament. At this time, his face was filled with fear, and his mouth seemed to be shouting something. He no longer had the demeanor of an esteemed senior at all. Elder Wu Xin, what's going on? On the judging panel, the four powerful cultivators had strange expressions on their faces. The old man sitting beside the invincible sect's grand elder Wu Xin secretly asked. Wu Xin's old face was so cold that water was about to drip from it. With the invincible sect's strength, they had obtained the qualifications to enter the top 10. However, among the 10, Endless' talent was the highest, and he was the #1 genius of the North Sand region. In the end, this was only the first round of the tournament, and Endless was about to be defeated. Perhaps the other cultivators could not read Endless words, but Wu Xin had read them accurately. He was indeed admitting defeat. The opponent's sword attack was very ordinary. Clearly, it was not sword chi that threatened Endless' disciple. From the looks of it, it was a divine sense attack. Wu Xin's voice was cold. The eyes of the elder beside him flashed. In fact, he had also guessed that Chao Feng had used a divine sense attack, but he did not dare to believe it. After all, Chao Feng's competition information stated that he was only at the 3 changes of Buddha Light Realm. An early-stage Buddha Light Realm cultivator can use a divine sense attack and seriously injure Endless. How is this possible? Another judge asked 3 questions in a row. The few of them looked at Jiang Fian. Among the judges, Jiang Fian's cultivation was the highest, and he was also the most knowledgeable. Jiang Fian's eyes were also filled with surprise. After realizing that the other 3 judges were looking at him, he immediately regained his composure and said, according to the classification of realms, those who reach the true spirit realm will have the ability to use divine sense attacks. However, there are some genius disciples who have comprehended divine sense attacks when they reach the Buddha Light Realm. This is not surprising, however, Chao Feng is only at the 3 changes of Buddha Light Realm. Even if he had comprehended divine sense attacks, it would be impossible for him to injure Endless. I'm guessing that the true spirit sword in his hand should have the ability to use divine sense attacks. Chapter 1785. Jiang Fian was indeed powerful. She discovered the secret of the Zhen Yi sword so quickly. Wu Axian and the other 2 judges had a look of sudden realization on their faces. Everything made sense now. That kid actually has a divine sense attack true weapon. He's really lucky, one of the judges complained. He'd already stepped into the middle stage of the true spirit realm, but the best weapon he had was a mid-grade true weapon longsword. When Wu Axian found out that Qin Fan's spirit sword could attack, his expression became more and more serious. He knew that if this continued, Endless disciples would definitely lose. Where did this Chao Feng come from? Wu Axian asked the old man next to him. I think he came from a place called Ling Xian Kingdom. I was just about to ask senior brother Wu Axian if you've heard of that place. What place is that? Wu Axian shook his head, but in the next second, his eyes shone brightly. He suddenly remembered that the shocking lightning tribulation a few days ago seemed to be near Ling Xian Kingdom. Senior brother Wu Axian, are you all right? The old man next to him noticed something was wrong. Wu Axian hurriedly collected his thoughts and smiled at him. Ha! I'm fine. I've never heard of Ling Xian Kingdom either. It's probably not a famous place. The second round of the martial arts competition was still ongoing, but there were already many winners and losers that had been decided in the martial arts field. Qin Fan had completely gained the upper hand. He was about to launch the final attack to defeat Endless, but before he could do so, an angry roar sounded in his mind. Stinking brat, I'm Wu Axayan, the great elder of the invincible sect. I advise you to obediently lose. Otherwise, don't blame me for finding Ling Xian Kingdom and destroying your sect. I know where it is. The voice was very clear, as if it was right next to Qin Fan's ear. He knew that this was a directed transmission, and only he could hear it. Qin Fan also knew who Elder Wu Axayan was. He was one of the judges of this year's genius competition. As a judge, he was actually secretly threatening a contestant. This was clearly cheating. Rumble. As Wu Axayan's voice echoed in Qin Feng's mind, a loud sound exploded in the martial arts field. This sword made a huge movement, but because of the soundproof array, the people outside couldn't hear the sound at all. Instead, they saw hundreds of sword chi flying like rainbows, instantly slicing the endless sword chi into pieces. The noisy atmosphere outside suddenly quieted. Almost half of the cultivators were watching the battle between Qin Fan and Endless. Senior Endless is dead. What just happened? Where did Senior Limitless go? Young hero Qiao Feng killed Senior Limitless. Although he won the competition, isn't he afraid that the invincible sect will take revenge? How did he kill Senior Limitless? He's only at the third transformation of Buddhist light. For a moment, countless questions popped up in everyone's mind, but no one could answer them. The moment Wu Xin was killed, Wu Axayan stood up and glared at Qin Fan. It was as if he wanted to tear Qin Fan into a million pieces at any moment now. Brat, just you wait. If the spirit immortal kingdom doesn't fall, I swear I'm not human. Wu Xin swore. Only Qin Fan could hear him. Qin Fan had already left the training grounds and was standing in the resting area, which was not obstructed by any arrays. In truth, he had not intended to kill Endless. He had only wanted to defeat him and obtain a place in the competition. But after hearing Heartless' threat, he changed his mind. That was why he had killed Endless with a single slash. I hope you still have a chance before I destroy the invincible sect. Qin Fan spoke telepathically. He had intended to keep a low profile and avoid trouble on this trip to Jiangchuan, but he was not afraid of trouble. Wu Xin was so angry that he almost vomited blood. He wanted nothing more than to fly up to the training grounds and kill Qin Fan. But in the end, he suppressed his anger. This was not the place to fight. Senior brother Wu Xin, my condolences. That Qiao Feng is too arrogant. He knows that Endless is a disciple of the invincible sect, but he still tried to kill him. How vicious. The rules of the martial arts competition do not determine life and death. It is normal for people to die in battle. Everyone, take it easy. The other two judges comforted Wu Xin and deliberately said a few bad things about Qin Fan. Jiang Fian's expression was cold, and she used a very official tone to express her opinion. Wu Xin did not dare to attack Qin Fan now. He thought of the barefoot enlightened being again. He believed that this old monster's clone must be nearby. Luckily, he had not rushed out impulsively. Otherwise, the consequences would be unimaginable. After a while, the second round of competition ended. There were originally more than 5,000 participants, but now there were only slightly more than 2,500 people left. However, there was still one last round of the martial arts competition. After the third round of competition ended, only slightly more than 1,200 people could enter the alchemy competition. Similarly, they would draw lots to determine their opponents. The cultivators who could last until the third round were not simple. The others were very nervous when they drew lots, but Qin Fan casually grabbed a bamboo stick. On it was written the disciple of the five-star sect, North Kun sect, Zhang Bei. Senior Chao Feng, I am Zhang Bei, a disciple of the North Kun sect. I admit that I am not a match for you, so I voluntarily withdraw from this round. Just as Qin Fan found out the identity of his opponent, he saw a black shadow land in front of him. Zhang Bei was dressed in green. He had delicate features, and he exuded a righteous aura. Are you sure you don't want to compete? It was not easy to last until the third round. Qin Fan's first impression of Zhang Bei was not bad. He could see that Zhang Bei was at the Buddha Light Fourth Transformation realm. Just from the surface level, Zhang Bei was one level higher than him. This is a decision I made after careful consideration. Although I do not want to give up, I know that I will definitely lose this round. It is better not to embarrass myself. Zhang Bei cupped his fists, and his attitude was very respectful. Qin Fan nodded. He suddenly had a feeling that he was bullying the weak. If Zhang Bei didn't meet him in this round, he might have advanced to the elixir refinement competition. You voluntarily withdrawing has saved me a lot of trouble. Take this bottle of elixir. Qin Fan casually threw a jade bottle over. Zhang Bei was slightly stunned. He quickly opened the bottle, and the rich fragrance of elixirs wafted out. However, it was blocked by the array. Only Zhang Bei and Qin Fan could smell it. This is the essence Buddha pill. Zhang Bei was dumbfounded when he saw the elixir. The essence Buddha pill was the best pill for Buddha Light intermediate stage cultivators to break through to the late stage. It was a class 3, grade 7 king pill. Even if it was sold in large pill stores, the price was definitely not low. Moreover, the quantity was limited. Qin Fan directly took out an entire bottle of essence Buddha pills. Zhang Bei counted carefully. There were a total of 12 pills. This is the compensation for voluntarily withdrawing from the competition, Qin Fan said. Zhang Bei looked at Qin Fan in disbelief. This was the first time he saw such a young nouveau riche like Qin Fan. Senior Chao Feng, I can't accept this bottle of essence Buddha pills. I voluntarily withdrew from the competition. Senior didn't force me. Senior, you don't have to feel burdened. Unexpectedly, Zhang Bei actually returned the bottle of essence Buddha pills to Qin Fan. Very good. You are to my liking. It's just a bottle of essence Buddha pills. I have many more with me. Just take it. Treat it as me making friends with you. Qin Fan was preparing to develop vigorously in the North Sand region. What he lacked was trustworthy friends. He felt that Zhang Bei, Lin Hao, and Xing Sanfang were the same kind of people. He could get to know them better. Zhang Bei really couldn't understand Qin Fan. This was a bottle of essence Buddha pills. Even if it was bought, it would cost tens of millions of spirit stones. However, in Qin Fan's eyes, it was not worth mentioning. He didn't know which sect this senior was from. He believed that he wouldn't be any weaker than the North Kun sect. For a moment, Zhang Bei was a little hesitant. He was now in the Buddha Light Fourth Transformation realm. He was in urgent need of essence Buddha pills. 10 essence Buddha pills were placed in front of him. It would be a lie to say that he wasn't tempted. Brother Zhang, take it. It's just a bottle of essence Buddha pills. Compared to making a friend like you, it's nothing. Qin Fan saw through Zhang Bei's thoughts and pushed the jade bottle into his hand. This time, Zhang Bei didn't refuse. It would be too pretentious. He looked at Qin Fan solemnly and said, Brother Qiao, your cultivation level and status are much higher than mine. However, you didn't put on the airs of a senior. You're even willing to make friends with me. I'm really flattered. Qin Fan smiled and said, there are many powerful venerables on the divine continent. My cultivation level is just like an ant's. There's nothing to be proud of. Moreover, there's no need to care about the background of a friend. There's no need to take fame and power seriously. The more Zhang Bei listened, the more excited he became. He realized that Qin Fan's views were very similar to his. It was hard to find a friend with such views on the divine continent. Ha! I didn't expect to make a friend like Brother Qiao in this genius competition. I'm even more excited than getting the title of North Sand Region's top 10 geniuses. Since Brother Qiao doesn't mind, I'll become sworn brothers with Brother Qiao here. Zhang Bei bowed deeply to Qin Fan. This scene caused a commotion in the crowd. Ha! What's that cultivator doing? Isn't this the etiquette of becoming sworn brothers? I know that person. He's a disciple of North Kuan sect, a 5-star sect in the Jiangchuan region. North Kuan sect is considered a big force in the North Sand region. Why does this genius disciple suddenly want to become sworn brothers with Qiao Feng? This is bad, Grand Elder. Eldest senior brother Zhang Bei actually acknowledged someone else as his big brother in the martial arts field. Zhang Bei didn't think that his action would cause such a big commotion. After he bowed, he heard the Grand Elder's voice transmission. It was scolding him for publicly acknowledging Zhang Bei as his big brother and bringing shame to the North Kuan sect. Qin Fan noticed the change in Zhang Bei's expression. He asked worriedly, "What happened?" Zhang Bei smiled bitterly. He didn't hide anything from Qin Fan. "It's nothing, Brother Qiao. The Grand Elder scolded me. I'll go and apologize to him first. Brother Qiao Feng is still my big brother. No one can change that." Zhang Bei expressed his attitude. Qin Fan was very touched. After all, the two of them had just met, but Zhang Bei insisted on becoming sworn brothers despite the pressure from the sect's Grand Elder. Seeing that he was about to get off the stage, Qin Fan transmitted a voice transmission to him. "Since we're sworn brothers, I won't hide anything from you. My real name is Qin Fan. The spirit charge pill was concocted by me." Zhang Bei's feet had just touched the ground. He almost stumbled and fell. He turned his head to look at Qin Fan, who was standing on the martial arts field. His eyes were filled with shock and surprise. Big Brother is actually the famous young hero Qin in the North Sand region. I believe the Grand Elder will not dissuade us if he knows about this. Zhang Bei was excited. However, he wasn't stupid. Since Qin Fan hid his identity during the Genius Conference, it meant that he had his own difficulties. Zhang Bei planned to tell the Grand Elder about this after the Genius Conference ended. Chapter 1786. The third round had just begun. Qin Feng hadn't even made a move yet, but he had already become the first participant to enter the Pill Refinery Conference. After more than 2 hours, the battles in the other venues had all ended. After the first round of the Martial Training Conference, there were only 1,200 cultivators left to participate in the following rounds. Jiang Fian had already stood up to read out the rankings of the Martial Training Conference. When she read out the first place Qiao Feng's name, the cultivators below the stage cried out in surprise. Wu Xian's eyes flashed with a cold murderous intent. The first round of the Martial Training Conference has ended. Now, there are a total of 1234 cultivators who have advanced. I hereby announce the official start of the second round of the Pill Refinery Conference. Following Jiang Fian's announcement, the surroundings were filled with waves of noise. The Genius Conference held by the Binji City Square was to test the cultivators' all-roundness. Only cultivators who excelled in all aspects were worthy of the title of the Northern Sand Continent's top 10 genius cultivators. The venue for the Pill Refinery Conference was still in the middle of the plaza. Qin Feng became more and more interested in this Grade 9 array. The array was divided into tens of thousands of smaller arrays. At this moment, there were pill furnaces and some medicinal ingredients used for concocting pills. It was evident that there was a teleportation array hidden in this large array. The participating cultivators had already found their own venues to concoct pills. Many of them took out their own pill furnaces. They simply didn't care about the normal pill furnaces provided by the Binji City Square. Qin Feng had a heaven and earth cauldron, but he didn't plan to use it. Previously, Long Qianjun had prepared to give him a heaven and earth cauldron. It was said that the heaven and earth cauldron was one of the northern sand continent's 8 great spiritual cauldrons. However, Qin Feng could tell that the heaven and earth cauldron wasn't as good as the heaven and earth cauldron. If he took out the heaven and earth cauldron in front of everyone, it would definitely cause a commotion and bring unnecessary trouble. Participating cultivators, there are the same medicinal ingredients and pill furnaces provided in your respective arrays. Everyone can use their own pill furnaces to concoct pills, but you can only use the medicinal ingredients provided by the Binji City Square. Now, I will announce the Pill Refinery Conference's examination questions. Everyone is required to concoct 2 types of pills specified by the Binji City Square, and then concoct a random pill. The points will be based on the concoction technique, time, medicinal properties, quality, and many other factors. For many of the cultivators present, this was not their first time participating in the Convention of Geniuses. Thus, the moment Jiang Fian's words fell, many of the cultivators within the array formation got busy. Qin Fan wasn't in a hurry to make his move. Actually, he wasn't very clear about the requirements of the alchemy conference. However, when he looked at the pill furnace, he understood a lot. This array actually had a void array within it. Some words appeared above the pill furnace. They were the names of the 2 types of pills designated by the Binji market. Gold Elemental Elixir and Spiritual Essence Elixir. Qin Fan was very familiar with the names of these 2 elixirs. When he had gone to the Elixir Association to test for the identity of an alchemy master, he had refined the consciousness elixir. As for the Golden Yuan pill, it was an 8th grade 6th grade golden pill that could help a late-stage Saint King realm cultivator break through quickly. After looking at the pills designated by the Binji market, Qin Fan suddenly felt a little puzzled. Whether it was the Golden Yuan pill or the consciousness elixir, they were both golden pill quality pills. Moreover, this was the venue of the Northern Sand Continent's Genius Convention. How could the standards for alchemy be so low? However, he soon understood. After all, the Convention of Geniuses was not the Pill Association of Pill City. It had to be known that the Convention of Geniuses didn't just test alchemy. Moreover, the age limit for participating cultivators was 50 years old or younger. Alchemists in the Northern Sand Continent were extremely rare, and pill kings under the age of 50 could be counted on one's fingers. No wonder the predetermined pill is only golden pill quality. If it was a king-grade pill, I'm afraid only a few people would be able to refine it. Qin Fan muttered to himself. He had already roughly understood the situation of the alchemy conference. His heart immediately relaxed. This was not the Pill Association of Pill City where alchemists gathered, and with his current status as a 3rd grade 7th grade pill king, he didn't have to worry about anything. Bang! Qin Fan glanced around and found that the other cultivators had already started their alchemy. There were even a few cultivators with excellent alchemy skills who were about to finish their pills. He didn't waste any more time and immediately shot a few balls of flame into the bottom of the furnace. It had to be known that the time taken to refine pills was also a key factor in the final score. Senior Chao Feng is actually using an ordinary furnace provided by the Binji market. His fire seed is also an ordinary inner fire. This doesn't match Senior Chao Feng's status, right? Sigh. Looks like Chao Feng is only skilled in the martial Dao. I'm afraid he's just a beginner in the aspect of alchemy. Because Qin Fan won the previous martial arts conference, he instantly became the focus of the audience. Many cultivators below the stage were paying attention to him. When they saw the process of his alchemy, they sighed. Because of the soundproof array, Qianfen couldn't hear their voices. But even if he heard it, Qianfen wouldn't care in the slightest. The ingredients for the gold essence pill had already been thrown into the cauldron. As a Tier 3 Tier 7 pill king, refining the gold essence pill was a piece of cake for Qianfen. He looked at the other cauldron beside him and sent out several balls of flames to activate that cauldron. What is Senior Qiao Feng doing? Why is there another furnace? This action caused the crowd to be dumbfounded. I know, Qiao Feng must have failed in that furnace of alchemy and is planning to refine another type of alchemy. That should be the case. Looks like Senior Qiao Feng really doesn't know how to refine pills. Everyone quickly look, Senior Qiao Feng is refining 2 furnaces of alchemy at the same time. The voices that originally didn't look favorably on Qianfen suddenly exclaimed in the crowd. Everyone immediately looked over, and their eyeballs and jaws dropped to the ground. At this moment, Qianfen was sitting cross-legged with a furnace on each of his left and right hands. He was controlling one furnace with each hand and was actually refining 2 different furnaces of alchemy at the same time. Rumble. The flames were exuberant, and the burning air let out a whistling sound. Qianfen was refining 2 furnaces of alchemy at the same time, but his movements were as smooth as flowing water. He was even more skilled than many cultivators refining a furnace of alchemy. He had been using his inner fire to refine pills. After all, the purple serene flame and the spirit sunflower were too precious. If he displayed them in public, it would definitely cause a commotion. Moreover, the purple serene flame and the spirit sunflower were rumored to be with Qianfen, so his identity would definitely be exposed. Fortunately, the gold essence pill and the consciousness accumulation pill were of the golden elixir quality. Even if he used his inner fire to refine them, Qianfen was confident that he could refine a special grade elixir. There were 1,234 cultivators participating in the alchemy assembly in the array formation square, but only Qianfen was refining 2 furnaces of alchemy at the same time. His actions were noticed by even more people, and even some of the contestants were shocked. Senior brother Hao Fei, is that guy called Qiao Feng crazy? He's refining 2 furnaces of alchemy at the same time. A disciple of the 5-star sect, Sword Sect, sent a voice transmission to his senior brother who was also participating in the competition. The senior brother called Hao Fei glanced at Qianfen and revealed a playful smile. Ignore him. Ugly people tend to cause trouble. I think he's only good at martial arts, but he knows nothing about alchemy. Let's compete peacefully. This year, we must fight for a place in the top 10 geniuses of the Sword Sect. When Hao Fei calmed his emotions and re-entered the state of refining alchemy, another beautiful girl looked at Qianfen. The girl was dressed in a white dress, and her face was covered by a veil. Even though only her eyes were exposed, they were still extremely charming. The girl was Yuan Xue of the number 1 family in the northern Sand region, the Yuan family. She and Wu Jin of the Invincible sect were listed as strong candidates for the first place in this year's Genius Assembly. Unexpectedly, Wu Jin was eliminated in the first round of the Martial Arts Assembly. Now, this girl's reputation as the first place had increased. So he's just a boorish fellow who only knows how to fight. What a waste of my time. A cold smile flashed in Yuan Xue's eyes. Clearly, she did not think much of Qianfen. Rumble. Explosions could be heard from the array plaza, indicating that many cultivators had completed their pills. Although the cultivators below the stage could not hear the huge commotion caused by the formation of the pills, they could see the scene of the fog rising into the sky. However, these cultivators had only managed to refine 1 type of pill. The requirement for the competition was to refine 3 types of pills. Therefore, After the cultivators had completed their pills, they did not stop for a moment and immediately began the process of refining the new pill. Yuan Xue is indeed a genius. She is the first to complete her pill. If nothing goes wrong, she will definitely win this round. Hao Fei of the 5-star sect, Sword Sect, is also performing very well. I believe it won't be a problem for him to enter the top 10 geniuses of the Northern Sand region. Sigh. It's such a pity for the Invincible sect. Senior Wu Jin was eliminated in the first round, and the remaining disciples of their sect have only average performances. It's hard to say if any of them can enter the top 10. Senior Chao Feng has yet to make a move. Just based on the time, he has already fallen behind more than half of the cultivators. The discussions were like a tidal wave. The cultivators below the stage were even more excited than the cultivators participating in the competition. However, the focus of the discussions had shifted from Qin Fen to Yuan Xue. At this moment, several strange cries came from the crowd. It's done. Senior Chao Feng has completed his pill. Tisk, it's done. He has already fallen behind the other cultivators by a few joss sticks worth of time. It's not surprising that he has completed his pill. That's not it. Senior Chao Feng has completed 2 furnaces of pills in one go. He has already completed the 2 types of pills designated by the Binji City Square. The crowd was stunned for a moment. When they regained their senses, they revealed expressions of disbelief. Tens of thousands of gazes shot towards the small array where Qin Fen was. At this moment, he was pulling the pills. With a grab of his hands, the 2 furnaces of pills that had rushed into the sky from the pill furnace immediately shot towards Qin Fen. Finally, they were stored into 2 jade bottles. Damn! Senior Chao Feng really refined 2 furnaces of pills at the same time. Looking at the dense spiritual qi rising up, the quality of those 2 furnaces of pills must be at least high grade. So everyone has misjudged Senior Chao Feng. How is he a newbie? He is definitely at the level of an alchemy master. Even the Northern Sand region's alchemy king might not be able to do this, right? I wonder if alchemy king Qin, who made the spirit surge pill, can do it. The heated discussion returned to Qin Fen. His performance in this alchemy conference was too shocking. Even the 4 judges were shocked. That kid succeeded. How is that possible? Wu Xian's eyeballs were about to fall to the ground as he gnashed his teeth in hatred. The other 2 judges were shocked. Even if they didn't know how to refine pills, they could tell that Qin Fen had most likely reached the level of an alchemy king. They had never heard of such a young alchemy king before. The Northern Sand region has been surging like a storm recently. Many young geniuses have appeared, and they are all concealing their identities. This is really unimaginable. Jiang Fian's eagle-like eyes stared at Qin Fen as she muttered to herself. Chapter 1787. Qin Feng's success attracted everyone's attention. Not only were the cultivators and the 4 judges looking at him, but the other contestants also stopped what they were doing and looked over. Senior brother Hao Fei, that guy refined 2 cauldrons of pills at once, and he even succeeded. The junior brother from the 5-star sword sect was shocked. Hao Fei had already realized this even without his junior brother's reminder. Even he was shocked and started to pay more attention to Qin Feng. The one who was the most shocked was Yuan Xue from the Yuan family. She was only at the 5 changes of Buddha aura, and she was worried that she would encounter Wu Jin in the last round. However, as a rank 8 rank 6 gold pill master in her early 30s, Yuan Xue was confident that no one could compete with her in this alchemy conference. Qin Feng's move made her panic. Humph. The alchemy conference is mainly to test the quality of the pills. I don't believe that the quality can be good by refining 2 cauldrons of pills at once. Yuan Xue could only comfort herself like this. After glaring at Qin Feng coldly, she went back to refining. It was Qin Feng, the culprit, who caused a sensation. At this time, he didn't pay attention to the situation outside the formation at all. He wanted to race against time. As soon as he finished refining the Jinyuan pill and the consciousness pill, he immediately thought about what pill to refine next. According to the rules of the alchemy conference, the contestants had to choose the third pill. This reminded Qin Feng of the Red Flower Hall's assessment. It was exactly the same. Refining pills seemed simple and didn't have any requirements, but it was the most difficult type of question. This was because the refined pill needed to be scored. If the grade of the pill was too low, the score would not be high. After some thought, Qin Feng decided to find a rare medicinal pill to concoct. However, after the incident with the Red Flower Hall concocting the Spirit Surge pill, Qin Feng realized that there were some medicinal pills that he could not casually reveal. Otherwise, it would cause another sensation in the northern sand region. Under the constraints of many conditions, Qin Feng finally chose the Youth Beauty pill. This was a rank 1 rank 7 king pill, and its main effect was to beautify one's appearance. In the divine continent where cultivation was the main focus, it seemed to be of little value. However, Qin Feng knew that the Youth Beauty pill didn't exist in the northern sand continent. Moreover, it was a type of king pill. If he could refine this pill, it would prove his alchemy skills as a pill king. At the same time, he wouldn't have to worry about the heaven-defying medicinal effect of the pill. After choosing the pill, Qin Feng did not stop to rest. He immediately found the medicinal ingredients needed to refine the nascent countenance pill and started a fire to refine the pill. Look! Senior Qiao Feng started refining pills again. Everyone, guess what pill he's going to refine himself? I believe it won't be too bad. It's very possible that it's a transformation Yuan Dan. I've long seen that Senior Qiao Feng is a Dan King. Because Qin Feng had refined 2 batches of pills at the same time, he had once again become the focus of attention. Many of the cultivators who were previously not optimistic about him and made sarcastic remarks now acted as if nothing had happened. They immediately became his fans and started to praise him. From time to time, the contestants would look over at Qin Feng. However, when they saw him throw ingredients into the pill furnace, they were at a loss. No one could tell what pill he was refining. Even Yuan Xue was puzzled. Rumble. In less than the time it took for 3 incense sticks to burn, a loud noise came from Qin Feng's formation. A batch of nascent countenance pills was successfully produced. This was Qin Feng's first time refining nascent countenance pills, and he successfully refined 8 of them. The cultivators outside could not hear the movement of the pills, but they could see the white mist rolling in the formation that Qin Feng was in. Look! Senior Qiao Feng has formed another pill. This pill refining speed is almost as fast as my dual cultivation speed. A cultivator exclaimed. Immediately, hundreds of disdainful gazes were cast over. Your dual cultivation speed is too fast. You're a man in seconds. Senior Qiao Feng has already completed 3 batches of pills, while the other cultivators haven't even finished 2 batches. Even the talented Lady Yuan Xue has only just finished her 2nd batch of pills. Just from the pill refining speed alone, Senior Qiao Feng is really heaven-defying. Can anyone recognize the pill that Senior Qiao Feng refined? Why haven't I seen it before? Qin Feng put away the jade bottle and came out of the formation. He finally realized that the cultivators below the stage were talking about him. However, he did not react at all and walked straight to the judge's table. These are the pills that I refined. Qin Feng placed the 3 jade bottles on the stone table. The 2 judges sitting in the middle were shocked by Qin Feng's pill refining speed and were still in a daze. Wu Axian glared at him with an ice-cold expression, but he saw that Qin Feng did not look him in the eye. Jiang Fian had already stood up. She had just opened the first jade bottle when she revealed a shocked expression. This is a whole bottle of special quality profound consciousness pills. The two judges sitting in the middle suddenly jumped up and moved their heads to look at the pills in Jiang Fian's hand. They're really all of special quality. It's really amazing. Although the profound consciousness pill is only a 3rd or 6th grade golden pill, it's an extremely difficult pill to refine. Even an elixir king of a generation can't guarantee that he can refine an entire batch of special quality pills. Jiang Fian and the other two were full of praise. When Wu Axian heard their words, he was so angry that he almost vomited blood. However, at this moment, Jiang Fian had already opened the second jade bottle. She exclaimed again, "How is this possible? This bottle of gold yuan pills is actually also of special quality." The other two elders could not remain calm. If it was said that refining a whole batch of special quality pills for the profound consciousness pill was a matter of luck, but refining a whole batch of special quality pills for the gold yuan pills was not something as simple as luck. Moreover, the gold yuan pill was a level 8 or 6th grade golden pill. It was already close to the grade of a king pill. How could one refine a whole batch of special quality pills just by relying on luck? To actually be able to refine a whole batch of gold yuan pills, young Hero Qiao's talent in pill refining is really amazing. If there are no mistakes, I'm afraid that young Hero Qiao will be the champion of the second round of the pill refining conference. The two judges changed the way they addressed Qin Feng and directly called him young Hero Qiao. It was obvious that they were trying to establish a relationship with Qin Feng in advance. One must know that Qin Feng was no longer simply a contestant in their eyes. He was most likely an elixir king, which would be of great help to their future breakthroughs. The results of the competition are not out yet. What's the point of saying all this? Just as the atmosphere was heating up, Wu Axian said coldly. The two judges immediately smiled awkwardly and did not say anything more. Earlier, Qin Feng had publicly killed the genius disciple of the invincible sect, Wu Jin. Obviously, he had offended great elder Wu Axian. However, at this moment, Jiang Fian let out another strange cry. A whole batch of special quality pills, another whole batch of special quality pills. But this bottle of pills looks unfamiliar. I wonder what kind of pills are they? The two judges, who had just collected their thoughts, could not care less about whether Wu Axian was angry or not. They excitedly moved closer to look at the bottle of pills that Qin Feng had refined. One must know that the first two kinds of pills in the pill refining conference were designated by the Binji city market, but the third kind of pill was up to the contestants. Since Qin Feng was able to refine a whole batch of special quality gold yuan pills and profound consciousness pills, he believed that the pills he refined would not be too bad. What kind of pill is this? I've never seen it before. The medicinal fragrance is rich, and it seems like it is about to take shape. This is definitely a king pill. When the two elders saw the nascent complexion pill, their expressions were complicated. They were able to be judges of the Genius Conference organized by the Binji City Market, so their status was definitely not low. Among them, the old man in the gray robe was one of the great elders of the Hall of Famous Generals, Bai Yixing, and he himself was a level 2 level 7 pill king. The other person was Su Peng, the great elder of the Seven Stars Monastery, a rare 5-star formation sect in the northern Sand Continent. Both of them were experienced seniors, but even they could not recognize the pills that Qin Feng had refined. Even Wu Axian could not help but sneak a few glances, and shock welled up in his heart. He actually could not recognize what kind of pills it was. Young Hero Qiao, what kind of pills are these? What effects do they have? Jiang Fian could not stand it anymore, and did not care about losing face, so she asked. Qin Feng said, City Lord Jiang, this bottle is a level 1 level 7 king pill, the nascent complexion pill. Nascent complexion pill? What kind of pill is that? Even though Qin Feng had said the name of the pill, Jiang Fian and the other three had not even heard of it. It was not only the four of them who did not know, the cultivators below the stage had also heard Qin Feng's words, and their faces were full of doubt. It is indeed a king pill. Who would have thought that young hero Qiao would be a pill king at such a young age? Bai Yixing sighed. One must know that he himself had only become a pill king when he was over 60 years old. Young hero Qiao, stop keeping us in suspense. What effects does this bottle of nascent complexion pill have? Su Ping also could not stand it anymore. Actually, even Wu Axian felt an itch in his heart, as if he was being scratched by a cat. However, he still pretended to be indifferent, and would not show his emotions in front of Qin Feng. Seeing the reactions of Jiang Fian and the other two, Qin Feng was glad that he had refined the nascent complexion pill. If he had refined those heaven-defying, lost pills from the Encyclopedia of Medicinal Pills, who knew what would have happened? Clearing his throat, he introduced, Dear judges, this bottle is the nascent complexion pill. The pill formula has already been lost. At least in the northern sand continent, other than me, no one can refine this kind of pill. Lost pill formula. No one in the northern sand continent can refine it. Why did he say it was as mysterious as the soul surge pill? Jiang Fian and the other two could not stay calm anymore. They stared at the nascent complexion pill, as if they wanted to snatch it away. Wu Axian also temporarily put aside his conflict with Qin Feng, and looked at the nascent complexion pill out of the corner of his eye. Qin Feng continued, however, the nascent complexion pill does not have any effect on cultivation. It mainly has the effect of beautifying one's appearance. Gaw! Hearing this, Jiang Fian and the other three almost fell down. The four of them were men, and they were not interested in beautifying one's appearance. Ahem. It turns out to be a bottle of beautifying pills. He. Jiang Fian used a laugh to cover up his embarrassment. He was the mayor of the northern sand continent's first city, Jiang City, and a spiritual venerable at the peak of level 9 of the true spirit. He had unexpectedly lost his composure because of a beautifying pill. If this matter spread, he would lose his face. Su Peng and Bai Yixing immediately went back to their seats. They wore serious expressions, as if nothing had happened. Wu Axian was stunned for a long time, then he suddenly laughed, ha. A bottle of beautifying pills. How could you refine it? What a waste of medicinal ingredients. You still have the nerve to brag that it is a long-lost pill formula. It is no wonder that you are the only one in the northern sand continent who can refine it. It is because the other alchemists do not want to waste their time refining this kind of useless pill. 8p pap. Chapter 1788. Wu Axian was obviously looking for trouble with Qin Feng. After all, Qin Feng had killed Invincible Sect's genius disciple Wu Jin in public. However, Qin Feng could not refute Wu Axian's mockery. It was his first time refining the youthful beauty pill, and he was not sure of its effects. Young hero Qiao, I heard that you refined a batch of youthful beauty pills. Can you sell one to me? At this moment, a beautiful figure landed on the judge's table. The Elixir Refinement Conference was in progress, and the woman's action clearly broke the rules of the conference. However, the three judges of 100 Leaves Planet acted as if they did not see it. Even Jiang Fian spoke to her politely. Junior sister Yun Chan, we are in the middle of the Elixir Refinement Conference. It's not too late to talk after the conference. The woman on the stage ignored Jiang Fian. Her eyes were fixed on the youthful beauty pills that Qin Feng had refined. Suddenly, she reached out and grabbed one. The 3 judges of 100 Leaves Planet were shocked. Jiang Fian felt as if she had been slapped in the face. She looked slightly unhappy, but she quickly recovered and did not reprimand the woman. Qin Fen was shocked by the woman's actions and looked at her. This woman was dressed in a white dress. Her figure was draped, and her face was covered by a veil. However, the instant she ate the pill, she took off the veil. Qin Feng quickly glanced over and saw a dark red birthmark on the right side of her face. It made her originally beautiful face look somewhat frightening. Qin Fen immediately understood that the woman wanted to eat the youthful beauty pill to remove the birthmark on her face. Moreover, from her disregard for the rules of the conference, the birthmark on her face had probably existed for a long time and had become a big worry for the woman. Damn! Who is that woman? She actually barged into the conference and snatched the elixir. City Governor Jiang and the others are not doing anything. Lower your voice. Believe it or not, if that woman hears your words, you won't even know how you died. Who is that woman? Does she have a powerful background? The cultivators below the stage were attracted by the mysterious woman and were curious about her identity. There were a few people who recognized the woman, but they only dared to discuss in low voices. If I'm not wrong, that female senior is called Yun Chan, the Misty Clouds sect leader. Rumor has it that she has stepped into the middle stage of True Spirit Realm. Her cultivation level is a bit lower than the 4 judges on the stage, but if you know that the unworldly immortal Venerable Barefoot Immortal is her father, then you will understand everything. Rumor has it that sect leader Yun Chan gave birth to a beauty. Unfortunately, the heavens are jealous of this beauty. She has a palm-sized birthmark on her face, which affects her overall beauty. Sect leader Yun is also a person who loves beauty. Because of this, she has been searching everywhere for elixirs that can enhance her beauty. However, the effects are not good. No wonder sect leader Yun Chan would lose her composure and rush into the hall, and City Governor Jiang and the other judges did not stop her. So that's why, after everyone understood the reason behind it, a look of realization appeared on their faces. However, Qin Feng did not hear their discussion. At this moment, he was looking at Yun Chan with a blank expression. The pill melted in Yun Chan's mouth and a rich medicinal fragrance lingered in her mouth. Even though she did not know what pill it was, she was certain that it was a king pill. Thank you for the beauty pill, young hero Qiao. Name a price. After eating the pill, Yun Chan let out a sigh of relief. However, she became slightly nervous. She did not know if the beauty pill she ate this time had any effect. Qin Feng had already guessed the reason why she ate the beauty pill. However, Qin Feng was still not clear about the effects of the youth beauty pill. Therefore, he said politely, "It's not too late to discuss the price after the pill shows its effects." Yun Chan had already realized her impudence. She was about to throw some spirit stones at Qin Feng and quickly leave. However, she did not expect him to answer like this. What kind of pill is this? How does it enhance one's beauty? Yun Chan asked. I concocted a youthful beauty pill. As for the effects of the youthful beauty pill, I'm not sure yet. This is the first time I've concocted this pill, and you've become the first person to eat it, Qin Feng said truthfully. Yun Chan's expression, which was hidden under her veil, turned cold. She never thought that Qin Feng would be refining this pill for the first time. She had seen Qin Feng refine 2 cauldrons of pills at the same time. Furthermore, he was the first participant to complete the refinement. She assumed that he was a pretty good pill refiner. She did not expect such a situation to occur. The glimmer of hope in Yun Chan's heart was instantly extinguished. She did not know how many beauty pills she had eaten in the past, but they were all unable to remove the birthmark on her face. She naturally did not have any hope for Qin Feng's first youth beauty pill. I was impudent. Your pill has probably reached the quality of a king pill. You won't lose out even if I give you 500,000 spirit stones. Yun Chan clapped her lily-white hands and a small hill of spirit stones fell in front of her. The eyes of the cultivators below the stage glowed with greed. Qin Feng acted as if he did not see it. Now that he was worth more than 10 billion spirit stones, why would he care about a mere 500,000 spirit stones? Senior, please don't be in a hurry to leave. You are the first person to consume the youth beauty pill. I want you to prove the effects of the youth beauty pill. At the same time, if anything happens to your body, I will be responsible for you. Although Qin Feng could not see Yun Chan's face clearly, he could tell from her voice and the aura that was as strong as the sea that she was much older than him. It was not an exaggeration to call her senior. Yun Chan's body emitted waves of cold air. What she cared about the most was the birthmark on her face. Because of this, she felt extremely inferior. Now, Qin Feng actually wanted her to be a guinea pig and make a fool of herself in front of everyone. I've already given you the spirit stones. Don't spout any more nonsense. Otherwise, don't blame me for being impolite. Yun Chan was about to leave after throwing out some harsh words. However, she suddenly felt a burning sensation on the right side of her face. It felt like a flame was burning her face, and she cried out in pain. Ah! What kind of bullshit pill is this? Why do I feel like my face is on fire? If my face is ruined, don't even think about living. Yun Chan's shout was very loud, and the cultivators below the stage became restless. Could it be that young hero Qiao refined a cauldron of useless pills? If that's the case, then his ranking in this round's competition will be pulled down. It's hard to say whether it's a useless pill or not. You must know that Senior Yun Chan's birthmark has been there for dozens of years. During this time, Senior Yun has been looking everywhere for a beauty pill, but it has no effect. Even if young hero Qiao refined the youthful beauty pill, it can't be said that there's a problem with the pill. Regardless of whether there's a problem with the pill or not, if sect leader Yun's birthmark isn't removed, Senior Qiao Feng will probably die in the competition. Sigh. Senior Qiao Feng is really unlucky. Qin Feng also realized the seriousness of the problem. He was immediately speechless. What kind of situation was this? When Wu Axan, who had been silent for a long time, saw this, he immediately jumped up and said, "Junior sister Yun Chan, the pill you ate definitely has no effect. This guy surnamed Xiao caused your face to be ruined, so why spare his life?" Qin Feng wanted to slap Wu Axan, that troublemaker, to death, but he knew that he wasn't the old man's opponent. He was more concerned about Yun Chan's situation. Although Qin Feng didn't know Yun Chan's identity, he could see that her position was not ordinary. Even Zhang Fian was polite to her. Yun Chan seemed to be bewitched by Wu Axan's words. The cold air around her body grew, and her beautiful eyes that were exposed glared at Qin Feng coldly. She looked like she was going to make a move at any time. "Senior Yun Chan, your face is fine," Qin Feng suddenly shouted. He had just bought a talisman of clairvoyance from the system. He wanted to see how serious the birthmark on Yun Chan's face was, but he saw a delicate and beautiful face through the veil. Her skin was as white as snow, like a newborn baby's. There was no birthmark at all. "You reckless junior, don't talk nonsense." Yun Chan was furious, but she thought that Qin Feng was joking with her. She had been looking for a pill to remove her birthmark for dozens of years, but she hadn't found it. How could it suddenly be fine? A gust of wind blew, and Qin Feng broke out in a cold sweat. He was sure that his opponent was a true spirit realm expert, and her cultivation was much higher than the red flower halls by Zhanfei. Qin Feng felt the air around him freeze under this bomb. He wanted to dodge, but his movements became abnormally slow. Woman, you're biting the hand that feeds you. My pill healed your face, but you want to attack me. You're unreasonable. There was no hope of dodging, so Qin Feng could only circulate his aura to block the true spirit realm expert's attack. However, when his aura collided with the wind and the air, it was as laughable as the stars competing with the moon. Boom! A loud explosion sounded in the venue. Qin Feng stood steadily on the bluestone ground, but he saw that a few array compartments had been destroyed. It turned out that Yun Chan had changed the direction of her attack at the critical moment. She stood in the venue in a daze. The veil on her face had been blown away by the wind, and she was staring blankly at a reflective stone wall in the judges' seats. It was a delicate face, and her skin was white and delicate. There was no red birthmark at all. Not only did the birthmark disappear, Yun Chan discovered that her skin was much better. It was soft and snow-white, as if water could be squeezed out of it. Is this me? Yun Chan touched her right cheek and muttered to herself. Qin Feng rolled his eyes and said unhappily, if it's not you, then it's a ghost. Just take it that I fed my rejuvenation pill to a dog. These words shocked the cultivators below the stage. Even Jiang Fian and the other judges looked at Qin Feng with a strange expression. Yun Chan was the daughter of the reclusive immortal Reverend Barefoot Daoist. How many people in the entire northern sand continent would dare to speak rudely to her? Qin Feng called her a dog in front of everyone, so he must be tired of living. Qin Feng did not notice this, because he still did not know about Yun Chan's powerful background. At this moment, he was more concerned about the rejuvenation pill. He was already shocked by its medicinal properties. When Yun Chan was eating the pill, Qin Feng glanced at her face. He was sure that there was a palm-sized dark red birthmark on the right side of her face. However, after Yun Chan ate the rejuvenation pill for less than an incense's time, the birthmark had completely disappeared. It was as if it had never existed. Moreover, her skin was much better. This was comparable to Chinese makeup. It's healed. My face is really healed. Yun Chan cried tears of joy. The troubles that had troubled her for more than 30 years had suddenly disappeared. This feeling was like a dream. When she regained her senses, she immediately landed beside Qin Feng. In her excitement, she threw herself into Qin Feng's embrace. Young hero Qiao, I'm really grateful to you. If you have any requests, just tell me. As long as I, Yun Chan, can do it, I will definitely do it. Chapter 1789. The noisy venue suddenly became silent. Yun Chan's hug was too sudden, and no one expected it. I'm so jealous of Senior Qiao Feng. Not only is his cultivation realm high, but he's also an alchemy expert. He even received sect leader Yun Chan's favor. He's simply a winner in life. Sect leader Yun Chan's father is a reclusive immortal Reverend Barefoot. Whoever marries sect leader Yun Chan will have half a foot in the void god stage. Is no one paying attention to Senior Qiao Feng's nascent beauty pill? That pill is so magical. It removed sect leader Yun Chan's birthmark in the time it takes for an incense stick to burn. Sect leader Yun has been troubled by that birthmark for decades. There was no soundproof array in the judges' seats. When the discussions of the cultivators below the stage fell into Yun Chan's ears, she abruptly woke up. Only then did she realize her ambiguous actions with Qin Feng. Young hero Qiao, thank you for your nascent beauty pill. The 500,000 spirit stones before were just a greeting gift. Here are 5 million spirit stones. I hope you'll accept them. Yun Chan pushed lightly and broke away from Qin Feng's embrace. She quickly hid the blush on her face and acted as if nothing had happened. Another large mountain of spirit stones fell, causing the crowd to exclaim. Yun Chan was quite rich. She gave away 5 million high-grade spirit stones with a wave of her hand. However, to everyone's surprise, Qin Feng didn't even look at the spirit stones. He said to Yun Chan, "Sect leader Yun, I didn't ask you to try the nascent beauty pill for the spirit stones. I just wanted to prove the medicinal effect of the pill. At the same time, I hope to help sect leader Yun get rid of the birthmark on your face." When the word birthmark was mentioned, Yun Chan's delicate body trembled. After all, this problem had been bothering her for more than 30 years. Even though the birthmark was gone, she still felt inferior for a while. However, very quickly, Yun Chan's beautiful eyes brightened. "Yes, I am." With young hero Qiao's ability, the #1 spot in this year's genius competition is yours for sure. Why would you care about worldly possessions like spirit stones? Also, I misunderstood young hero Qiao's meaning earlier. I hope you don't take offense. The change in Yun Chan's attitude left the crowd speechless. Any cultivator who had heard of her name would know that this woman was usually as cold and arrogant as frost. She would never waste her breath on a stranger. However, when she conversed with Qin Fen in public, her tone still carried a hint of gentleness. "Junior sister Yun Chan, congratulations. The birthmark on your face has finally been removed." Jiang Fian finally came to her senses and immediately walked down from the judging panel to celebrate. Yun Chan gradually got used to people talking about her birthmark. She nodded at Jiang Fian and said, "I was reckless earlier and broke the rules of the Elixir Refinery Association. Please forgive me, City Lord Jiang and the 3 judges." With Yun Chan's status, no one would dare to blame her for breaking the rules. Now that she had taken the initiative to admit her mistake, Jiang Fian and the others felt a little better. Bai Yixing and the others also came over and greeted Yun Chan. Then, the eyes of the 4 judges landed on the youthful beauty pills. The effects of this bottle of pills were much stronger than they had imagined. "Young hero Qiao, how many spirit stones are you planning to sell these pills for?" Although he felt a little embarrassed, Jiang Fian still couldn't help but ask. Qin Fen waved his hand and smiled. "What are you talking about, City Lord Jiang? If you need it, this junior will give you one for free." Jiang Fian replied politely, "How can I do that?" "Young hero Qiao, please state your price." "City Lord Jiang, do you want to personally try the effects of the youthful beauty pills? Then you can eat it first." Jiang Fian really did have this intention. Originally, he didn't care about his appearance. However, after seeing the effects of Yun Chan eating the youthful beauty pills, his heart started to itch. Actually, the northern sand region had many beautifying pills. Many cultivators who were over 100 years old could, because of eating the pills, maintain their youthful appearance of 40 or 50 years old. If those cultivators didn't speak, ordinary people wouldn't be able to tell their age. Since Qin Fen said so, Jiang Fian didn't argue any further. He poured out a youthful beauty pill in front of everyone and put it into his mouth. Instantly, he felt a huge amount of spiritual energy flowing through his body. That burning sensation also appeared on Jiang Fian's body. However, it wasn't on his face, but on his back and thighs. Jiang Fian himself knew that because of a fight, there was a knife scar on his back that he couldn't get rid of. Moreover, there was a small birthmark on his thighs. "City Lord Jiang, do you feel like your body is being burned? This is the effect of the pill's medicinal properties. City Lord Jiang, you don't have to worry." After Yun Chan's experiment, Qin Fen had a clear understanding of the youthful beauty pill. Jiang Fian heaved a sigh of relief. He pretended that nothing had happened and waited for the youthful beauty pill's medicinal properties to fully take effect. After the time it took for an incense stick to burn, the burning sensation subsided. Bai Yixing and Su Ping cried out in surprise. Who are you? City Lord Jiang. Is that you? The two's questions confused Jiang Fian. However, when he turned to look at the reflective stone wall behind him, he was shocked. My beard is gone. And the wrinkles on my face are gone. Is this me? This is how I looked when I was in my 20s. 20-something years old. To Jiang Fian, that was too far away. He was already over 100 years old. It was hard for him to accept the sudden restoration of his youthful beauty. However, Bai Yixing and Su Peng's eyes lit up. They stared fixedly at the bottle of youthful beauty pill on the judge's table. They didn't care much about their appearance, but the effect of this bottle of youthful beauty pill was not as simple as beautifying one's appearance. In the words of Earth, it was plastic surgery. A miraculous pill that restores one's youth. This is definitely a miraculous pill that restores one's youth. Young hero Qiao, can you sell me a youthful beauty pill? You can ask for as many spirit stones as you want. The two couldn't stay calm. They wanted nothing more than to rush up and snatch the pill. Qin Fan didn't expect the youthful beauty pill to be so heaven-defying in terms of beautifying one's appearance. He already planned to refine a few more cauldrons of youthful beauty pills and give them to Lin Bei Bei and the other women so that they could maintain their youthful appearance forever. Seniors, you're too polite. If you're interested in the youthful beauty pill, then you can take one for free. Qin Fan smiled. Bai Yixing and Su Ping didn't stand on ceremony. They immediately took out the youthful beauty pill and swallowed it. After the time it took for a stick of incense to burn, the effects of the pill took effect. The two old men turned into two handsome young men with elegant demeanor. Oh my God! What pill did young hero Qiao refine? It's practically an immortal pill. The cultivators below the stage looked at the judge's table. When they saw Jiang Fian and the other two young handsome men, they were so shocked that their eyeballs fell to the ground. Young hero Qiao, I also want to buy your pill. Leave one for your little brother. Such a heaven-defying miraculous pill has appeared. May I ask who in this elixir conference can compare to Senior Qiao Feng's elegance? At this time, the participants of the elixir conference had finished their competition. However, they were all dejected. After seeing the miraculous effects of Qin Fan's youthful beauty pill, they wanted nothing more than to hide the pills they refined. Chapter 1790. Jiang Fian was excited that he had suddenly returned to his 30s. Seeing that all the contestants had finished refining pills, he organized Bai Yixing and the other two to evaluate and grade them. Bai Yixing was an alchemy king, so he was the main judge of this round. Because of the age limit, other than Qin Feng, who had refined the royal grade youth beauty pill, the rest of the contestants had refined spirit pills and golden pills. Even Yuan Xue from the Yuan family had only refined a level 6 golden pill. However, this golden core and Yuan Xue's extraordinary performance were enough for her to win. She had thought that she would win, but she had lost so badly. Yuan Xue couldn't help but secretly look at Qin Feng. She was very interested in his identity. An hour later, Bai Yixing stood up with the score list in his hand. The contestants stood in an orderly manner under the judges, waiting nervously for the results. Bai Yixing's voice sounded, "Contestants, the second round of the Pill Refinery Conference has ended. The rankings are out. Now, let me announce. Ranked 1234 in the Pill Refinery Conference, Disciple Zheng Cai from the 4-star sect Raging Flames sect. Ranked 1233 in the Pill Refinery Conference, Disciple Ma Xiang from the 4-star clan Ma family. Ranked 12 in the Pill Refinery Conference, Disciple Hao Fei from the 5-star sword sect. Ranked 2 in the Pill Refinery Conference, Disciple Yuan Xue from the number 1 clan in the Northern Sand Continent, Yuan family. Ranked 1 in the Pill Refinery Conference, cultivator Qiao Feng from the Kingdom of Spirit. Qin Feng was too dazzling, completely overshadowing all the other cultivators. When his name appeared, the cultivators below the stage exclaimed. I've said it before, this round of the alchemy meet will definitely be won by Senior Qiao Feng. Senior Qiao Feng's youth beauty pill is really amazing. I wonder if he can sell me one. Where is the Kingdom of Spirit? How come I've never heard of it? Young hero Qin, it's indeed the young hero Qin who made the Spirit Surge pill appear. Big brother has such an honorable status, but he doesn't mind becoming sworn brothers with me. This is what a true brother should be like. Looking at the high-spirited Qin Feng on the stage, Zhang Bei was extremely excited. He was not worried about the Great Elder's objection at all. He believed that when the North Kuan sect found out about Big Brother Qin's identity, even the sect leader would have to personally curry favor with him. After the rankings were announced, Qin Fen, who had won 2 matches, firmly occupied the top spot. From that moment onwards, despair rose in the hearts of the other participating cultivators. Even Yu Yinxue and some of the genius disciples from 5-star sects lost their confidence. Fellow cultivators, I would like to digress. Jiang Fian suddenly stood up with a joyful expression. In this pill concoction conference, cultivator Qiao Feng refined a cauldron of nascent beauty pills, and these nascent beauty pills are rank 1, rank 7 king pills. It can be seen that young hero Qiao has become a pill king at such a young age. Voila! The audience was in an uproar. The contestants on the stage were also shocked. Originally, some cultivators were dissatisfied and thought that the 3 judges had eaten the nascent beauty pills to regain their youth, which was why they gave Qin Fen such a high score. However, when they found out that he was a pill king, everyone's complaints instantly disappeared. The number of pill kings in the North Sand region could be counted on one's fingers, and the only pill king who was below 50 years old was Qin Fen, who had become famous not long ago. Who would have thought that there would be an pill king in his early 30s? This kind of cultivator was worthy of being called a true genius. Jiang Fian continued, the other 2 judges and I have personally experienced the effects of the nascent beauty pill. This kind of pill has a miraculous effect in beautifying one's appearance, and has the miraculous effect of regaining one's youth. From what I know, the nascent beauty pill has never appeared in the entire North Sand region. It seems that young hero Qiao has brought a vanished pill back into the world. The significance of this matter is the same as the appearance of the Spirit Surge pill not long ago. The shocking news came one after another, and the crowd instantly became silent. Qiao Feng becoming a pill king at such a young age was enough to shake the entire North Sand region, and since he had also created a new type of pill in the North Sand region, this matter would most likely be recorded in the history of the North Sand region. 100 Leaves Star and Su Peng looked at Jiang Fian curiously. City Lord Jiang's current actions were a little strange. From their understanding of Jiang Fian, because of his extraordinary status, he had a sense of arrogance in his bones. He usually didn't put other forces in his eyes, and he couldn't even be bothered with the sect leader of a 5-star sect. Who would have thought that he would praise a junior so much? However, the 2 of them quickly understood, because they felt an enormous aura surging in the surroundings. This was undoubtedly the aura of Daoist Barefoot. It seemed that the reclusive immortal reverend really hadn't left, and everything that Jiang Fian had done was just for Daoist Barefoot to see. Previously, many cultivators had doubted the fairness of Qin Fen's victory, but now, they only felt that Qin Fen was a monster. At such a young age, he was actually able to create a king pill that even the North Sand region didn't have. He was definitely going to surpass Qin Fen. I don't mean anything by saying so much, I just have the same thoughts as Daoist Barefoot. We are all cultivators of the North Sand region, so we should work hard to learn from each other, and strive to produce more genius cultivators like Qin Fen and Qiao Feng. If that's the case, may I ask the cultivators of the other 3 continents still have the confidence to look down on us? Jiang Fian said. 100 Leaves Star and Su Ping smiled bitterly. Indeed, City Lord Jiang was flattering Daoist Barefoot. It was just that although Daoist Barefoot's aura was still there, it hadn't appeared. Jiang Fian also knew when to stop. After saying a few more words, he returned to the competition. There were a total of 3 segments in the Genius Assembly held by the Binji City Market. Now that the martial arts competition and the pill refining competition had ended, there was only the array design competition left. Speaking of arrays, there were very few sects in the North Sand region that specialized in arrays. This caused array masters to be extremely rare, and they were even more precious than alchemists. It was also because of this that the difficulty of the array gathering in the Binji City Market wasn't high. This was because if the participants were to be asked to set up a level 3 or 4 array, not many people would be able to do it. Participating cultivators, I will now announce the examination questions for the array gathering. At the judging panel, 7 Stars Monastery's Grand Elder Su Ping stood up. Considering that there are very few sects that specialize in arrays in the North Sand region, and that there are very few array masters, the examination questions for this array gathering will mainly be about knowledge. It will mainly test everyone's theoretical understanding of arrays, so there's no need for everyone to set up arrays. With these words, most of the cultivators on the competition stage heaved a sigh of relief. One must know that those who could cultivate martial arts and alchemy at the same time were already considered geniuses. To ask them to learn how to set up arrays. This kind of operation was really difficult. However, an extremely arrogant voice sounded out. TSK. What's there to test about theoretical knowledge? I really don't know what the Binji City Market is thinking. Arrays should be tested on practical use. What's the point of just talking on paper? These words were too abrupt. Many people looked over. After recognizing the appearance of the person who spoke, everyone understood. So it's a disciple of the North Sand region's only 5-star array sect, the 7 Stars Monastery. No wonder he's so arrogant. It's said that the most powerful 5-star array master in the North Sand region is from the 7 Stars Monastery. If the array gathering really involves setting up arrays on the spot, then the 7 Stars Monastery's disciple will definitely win. No wonder that guy complained. The crowd discussed fervently. In the end, many people revealed expressions of schadenfreude. As the 7 Stars Monastery's Grand Elder, Su Ping naturally hoped to set up arrays on the spot. However, the rules for the 3 rounds of the Genius Conference were proposed by the people from the Binji City Market. He was only invited to be a judge. Seeing that everyone was rejoicing in his misfortune, Su Qi was filled with anger. His performance in the previous 2 rounds was average. His total score was at most in the top 100. Moreover, this round wasn't about setting up arrays. As such, he couldn't fully display his strong points. Even if he could pull away from the other cultivators, it wouldn't be by too much. Su Qi's mind raced as he thought of a better way. Suddenly, his eyes lit up. Since he had no hope of squeezing into the North Sand region's top 10 geniuses, he might as well make use of this opportunity to make a name for himself. His gaze fell on Qin Feng. Since he wanted to make a name for himself, he had to use Qin Feng, who was currently in the limelight, as a stepping stone. This kind of competition rules are really boring. Qiao Feng, do you dare to set a separate competition rules with me? Su Qi suddenly shouted. The crowd was stunned. They looked at Su Qi as if they were looking at an idiot. Qiao Feng was now in the limelight. However, everyone quickly understood that setting up arrays was the strong point of the 7 Stars Monastery's disciples. Moreover, Su Qi was a genius disciple of the 7 Stars Monastery. It was rumored that he had already become a level 3 array master. In the entire North Sand region, there were very few cultivators who could become a level 3 array master before the age of 50. After guessing Su Qi's thoughts, everyone's gaze fell on Qin Feng. Although Qin Feng's performance in the previous 2 rounds was extremely outstanding, not many people were optimistic about him. This 7 stars monastery Su Qi is really sinister. He's using his strong point to compete with Senior Qiao Feng. How shameful. This move is really powerful. If Senior Qiao Feng doesn't agree, he will be slapped in the face. If he agrees, he will be slapped in the face even more after he loses. I think Qiao Feng will definitely lose. No matter how good he is in martial arts and alchemy, he won't be a match for the 7 Stars Monastery's genius disciple in setting up arrays. Su Qi's suggestion caused a heated discussion among the crowd. Some people felt indignant for Qin Feng, while others were gloating. The Sword Faction's eldest disciple, Hao Fei and Yuan Xue, were the ones who were secretly gloating. Qin Feng's previous performance had been spectacular and had stolen their limelight. They couldn't wait to see Qin Feng make a fool of himself. Are you sure you want to compete with me? Qin Feng didn't expect that Su Qi would suddenly ask him to compete with him, but he soon understood this guy's intention. He was amused. Does he want to use me as a stepping stone? But he must have the strength to do that. Since I dare to say this in public, I'm not joking. But you, boy, do you dare or not? Give me a straightforward answer. Su Qi's performance was extremely arrogant. He thought Qin Feng would be too scared to say anything. Since Qin Feng had spoken, he felt his plan had mostly succeeded. Okay. I'll compete with you. But there must be something at stake. Otherwise, I won't be interested. Qin Feng agreed without hesitation. He didn't have a good impression of the 7 Stars Monastery. When he found the mystery land on the Fallen God Island, the 7 Stars Monastery's junior elder, Suan, even joined hands with the Red Flower Hall's elder to harm him. Later, he killed the 7 Stars Monastery's first elder, Su Mo Yen, in mythical Fire City. Chapter 1791. Qin Feng's answer surprised everyone and caused another uproar. Senior Qiao Feng has agreed. He doesn't look like a person without any shrewdness. Ha! I think he has won 2 matches in a row, so his confidence is inflated. He doesn't even know his surname now. Maybe Senior Qiao Feng is also a formation master. Let's wait and see him slap the face of the 7 Stars Monastery's disciple. Martial Tao and alchemy are easy to deal with. As long as one diligently studies and cultivates, there will be obvious results. However, array Tao is not something that can be achieved with just hard work. If one does not have an outstanding master to guide them, or if one does not have an orthodox array Tao inheritance, it will be impossible to have any achievements. Most of the discussions were not optimistic about Qin Feng. As many cultivators had said, formations needed orthodox inheritance. If he only blindly studied them, he would not have any achievements in his lifetime. Qin Feng did not care about what everyone thought. His gaze fell on Su Qi, waiting for his reply. Ha! Okay, what do you want? Su Qi was full of smiles. He was still wondering if Qin Feng's brain was damaged. Was he digging a trap for himself? How about this? Whoever loses the competition will take out a treasure, Qin Feng said indifferently. The cultivators below the stage exclaimed. They also thought Qin Feng was damaged. He was thinking that he had not been slapped hard enough. Su Qi laughed wildly. Ha! I have my eyes on the spiritual sword you used in the first martial arts competition. It is the one you used to deal with Wu Jin. A cold light flashed in Qin Feng's eyes. The Zhenyi sword was the sword he was most familiar with. Especially after it fused with the dazzling soul-devouring snake's soul-devouring eye, it had an invincible divine sense attack effect. But he quickly regained his composure and said, "Sure. That's a treasure sword of the true artifact level. What treasure can you take out?" Although Jiang Fian and the other judges had already seen that Qin Feng's sword was a true artifact, they were still amazed when they heard it from his mouth. The four of them had already stepped into the true spirit realm and had high status. However, the best sword they had was only a low-grade or middle-grade true artifact. As for the cultivators below the stage and on the stage, they were even more envious. They never thought that a cultivator who was less than 30 years old would have a true artifact sword. This Qiao Feng was a little too rich. Just what kind of sect was the spirit's kingdom he came from? Why hadn't he heard of it before? Su Qi's eyes lit up when he learned that it was a real treasure sword. "I have 3 5th-grade teleportation formation discs. I'll use them as a wager." Qin Feng was shocked. He never thought that a mere genius disciple of the Seven Stars Monastery would have 3 rank 5 teleportation array discs. He could not help but think of the one and only rank 5 spiritual array master in the northern sand continent. Although he did not know which sect that person was from, Qin Feng could guess that he was definitely from the Seven Stars Monastery. Seeing Su Qi's expression, Qin Feng guessed that Su Qi had more than 3 level 5 teleportation formation discs. "Ha! Do you think that 3 rank 5 teleportation formation discs can be compared to a true treasure sword?" Qin Feng pretended to be uninterested. In reality, the Chinese Chamber of Commerce was developing rapidly and he was lacking high-grade teleportation formations. Su Qi's complexion turned slightly cold. He was very clear about the value of a true treasure sword. Naturally, 3 rank 5 teleportation array discs couldn't compare to it. Originally, he wanted to bluff Qin Feng, but he found out that Qin Feng was not stupid at all. 5 rank 5 teleportation formation discs, a destructive darkness saber, and 1,000,000 spirit stones. This should be enough, right? Su Qi had gone all out this time. The crowd cried out in surprise. They realized that Qin Feng and Su Qi were really playing big. Qin Feng did not expect Su Qi to be so rich. He was just testing him. If Su Qi did not increase the price, Qin Feng would also compete with him. Very soon, Qin Feng understood. Su Qi was a formation master, and formation masters were extremely rare in the northern sand continent. Their status was even higher than that of alchemists. There were many cultivators who fawned on Su Qi. Therefore, it was not surprising that he had gotten some wealth. Qin Feng did not care about the 1,000,000 spirit stones. Instead, he needed the 5 rank 5 teleportation formation discs and the destructive darkness saber. The teleportation formation could be used to develop the teleportation point of the Chinese Chamber of Commerce. The reason why he had participated in the genius competition this time was that he had his eyes on the refining materials for the first prize. Black gravel steel and star tempest sand were the main materials for refining shackles. Refining shackles required a weapon as a foundation. Qin Feng had originally planned to use the golden phoenix to forge shackles. Now, he was considering using Su Qi's destructive darkness saber. "Sure." Qin Feng agreed with a calm voice. Clamors came from both inside and outside the venue. A mischievous smile flashed in Su Qi's eyes. It was as if Qin Feng's Zhenyi sword was already his. Both parties had agreed on the wager, and the competition was about to begin. Qin Feng threw a long sword on the stone table at the judges' table and said, "To avoid trouble, we will leave the wager here with the 4 judges for safekeeping. The 4 judges will also be the notary for our competition." Su Qi's expression turned ugly. He did not think that he would lose. However, to prevent Qin Feng from suddenly changing his mind and rejecting the competition, he still left the wager on the stone table. 5 level 5 teleportation formation discs, a destructive darkness saber, and a pile of spirit stones. Just looking at them made people want to pounce on them and snatch them. Qin Feng glanced at the long sword. It was simple, domineering, and dark. It gave people a mysterious feeling, which suited him very well. Can we start now? Su Qi stared at Qin Feng coldly. I can start at any time, but I haven't told you the rules of the competition. How do you want to compete? Qin Feng was calm. He was confident that he could defeat Su Qi. Su Qi had the same thought. He said arrogantly, "It's very simple. In a while, the other participating cultivators will test their theories, and we will test their practice. They will recognize the formation, and we will set up the formation." Sure. Qin Feng had no objection. After the two of them finished talking, Su Peng announced the start of the formation meeting. It was obvious that he had a selfish motive. He wanted Su Qi to show off in this competition. The last formation meeting of the Genius competition officially began. However, it was different from the previous formation meeting. This time, people did not pay attention to the formation meeting itself, but the fight between Qin Feng and Su Qi. Swish! Su Peng personally presided over the formation meeting. He waved his hand, and a few weak walls appeared on the square. This is the first question of the formation meeting. Cultivators, please observe the formation and write the name and function of the formation on the jade card. Every cultivator was given a jade card, which was a special jade card of Binji City. As long as the cultivator wrote something on it, the 4 judges would be able to see it. Qin Feng simply glanced at the square and recognized that it was a level 2 ghost formation. This ghost formation was actually a kind of trapping formation, similar to the ghost labyrinth formation on Earth. It could disturb the consciousness of the cultivator by changing the magnetic field, creating some illusions, and trapping the cultivator in the formation. Ha! Such a simple question. Binji City is really boring. Su Qi sneered and began to act. His hands moved quickly to form a formation, and he started to set up the formation. A mere level 2 formation was child's play for Qin Feng and Su Qi. However, half of the participating cultivators on the square looked confused. Obviously, they did not recognize this ghost formation. What kind of formation is this? It's going round and round, and it's confusing everyone. The cultivators below the stage were already discussing fervently. Su Qi has already started to set up the formation. It seems that the 7 Stars Temple's reputation is not just for show. If I'm not wrong, this is a level 2 ghost formation. Su Qi is rumored to be a level 3 formation master. This kind of small formation is naturally not a problem for him. Why hasn't Senior Qiao Feng moved yet? Don't tell me he can't even refine a level 2 formation. The cultivators below the stage focused their attention on Qin Feng and Su Qi. As for the other participating cultivators, they had long been forgotten. After Su Qi recognized the ghost formation, he started to refine the formation. His movements were smooth, and one could tell that he was a formation expert. In just the time it took for an incense stick to burn, his formation had already taken shape, and it was exactly the same as the ghost formation on the square. Su Qi's formation is out. It's so fast. The 7 Stars Temple is worthy of being the only 5-star formation sect in the Northern Sand Continent. I really want to join the 7 Stars Temple to learn formation, but their requirements for recruiting disciples are too strict. Senior Qiao Feng still hasn't moved. I'm afraid he's going to lose this round. The discussion gradually shifted towards Su Qi. Just watching the process of him arranging the array formation was already a kind of enjoyment. After the time it takes for half an incense stick to burn, Su-Chi shouted loudly and threw out several array flags and spirit stones. The array flags that seemed to have been thrown out casually formed an array diagram. Stimulated by the spirit stones, the diagram flickered with a faint radiance. Ha! This kind of small formation is really simple. Chow Fong, my formation is done. It's not too late for you to admit defeat. Su-Chi's face was full of pride. Especially when he saw that Qin Fong didn't move, he was completely relieved. However, Qin Fong sat cross-legged and ignored Su-Chi's words. He minded his own business and refined some formation flags and spirit stones, but there was no sign of him setting up a formation. This made everyone confused. At this time, the other participants had submitted their answers. Zhang Fian and the other two judges were giving their scores. Su Ping opened the second formation. The formation assembly will display a total of 3 formations. This is the second formation, and the content of the assessment is the same. Please write down the name and function of the formation. After he finished speaking, Su Peng looked at Qin Fong and Su-Chi. He immediately felt much more at ease. He felt that he was thinking too much. Even if Qin Fong was a genius, it was impossible for him to be proficient in martial arts, alchemy, and formation at the same time. After the second formation appeared, Qin Fong also recognized it at a glance. This was a level 3 killing formation. Since he was setting up level 4 killing formations, a level 3 killing formation was a piece of cake for him. Su-Chi frowned. He had just become a level 3 formation master not long ago, and a level 3 killing formation was one of the more profound and difficult to refine among the level 3 formations. However, when he thought of Qin Fong, who couldn't even refine a level 2 ghost strike formation, a playful expression immediately appeared on Su-Chi's face. Chapter 1792. What is this formation? It feels more profound than the previous one. This should be a level 3 formation, but I don't know what kind of formation it is. Look, Su-Chi has started to arrange the formation. Senior Chow Fong is still refining formation flags. I don't know if he is pretending or not. The cultivators in the audience were paying attention to Qin Fen and Su-Chi's situation. When the first formation appeared, some people thought that Qin Fen was holding back his strength. However, when the level 3 killing formation appeared, Qin Fen still did nothing, which made many people suspicious. The level 3 killing formation was a formation that was more difficult to refine. Su-Chi had no time to pay attention to Qin Fen. He was concentrating on refining formation flags. After an hour, a loud shout came from Su-Chi's side. He clapped his hands, and dozens of array flags and hundreds of spirit stones scattered in front of him, forming a profound array diagram. It's done. Senior Su-Chi's formation is finished. Although I don't know what kind of formation it is definitely a level 3 formation. It seems that Senior Su-Chi is indeed a level 3 formation master. Alas! Chow Fong has made no progress. It seems that he will lose this round. That true weapon treasure sword will belong to Senior Su-Chi. In terms of reality, the cultivators in the Divine Continent were 100 times more realistic than the people on Earth. Previously, when Qin Fen was in the limelight, everyone stood on his side and spoke. Now that Su-Chi had the upper hand, many cultivators had begun to flatter him and even addressed him as senior. The level 3 killing formation was completed. Although there were some small loopholes, it was at least a success. This made Su-Chi very proud. This was his extraordinary performance. After perfecting the killing array, Su-Chi had already stood up. He had guessed that the third array formation would definitely be a level 4 grade array. With his strength, he would not be able to refine it. However, he was not worried at all. He had already displayed the attitude of a winner. Ha! Xiao Feng, how long are you going to pretend? I advise you not to waste your time and energy. Just admit defeat. Su Qi laughed complacently, but Qin Feng ignored him and continued to refine the formation flags as if there was no one else around. At that moment, he had already refined hundreds of formation flags and countless spirit stones that had been engraved into formation seals. In fact, according to Qin Feng's plan, he did not take Su Qi seriously at all. He did not care about this battle. He simply took advantage of his free time to refine more formation flags and spirit stones in preparation for setting up formations in the future. However, no one could guess Qin Feng's thoughts. Otherwise, they would be scared to death by his thoughts. Su Qi was a formation genius of the Seven Stars Monastery, but in Qin Feng's eyes, he didn't even have the qualifications to compete with him. The participating cultivators on the square had already finished answering their questions, but from their disappointed expressions, only a few of them recognized the Grade 3 killing array. Su Peng's mind was no longer on the other participating cultivators. He immediately activated the last array formation, wanting to end this array formation meeting as soon as possible, so that 7th Su's disciple could become famous. Buzz! A strange energy fluctuation rippled across the square. It was much more powerful than the previous 2 spirit arrays. For sky barriers flickered with a pale yellow light, enveloping more than half of the square. Holy shit! What kind of spirit array is this? I can feel a huge pressure from hundreds of meters away. Why have my movements become so slow? This spirit array is most likely related to the trapping array. Grade 4 spirit array. This is definitely a Grade 4 spirit array. I believe that none of the participating cultivators can set it up, and even 7th Su can't refine it. As soon as the new spirit array appeared, it caused a sensation among the crowd. The participating cultivators on the square were dumbfounded. They could not understand the knack of this spirit array at all. 7th Su recognized this spirit array, but a solemn look flashed in his eyes. He had already guessed that the last spirit array was a Grade 4 great array, and it seemed that it was true. Grade 4 trapping array. Qin Feng was also examining the new spirit array. Soon, he recited the name of the spirit array in his mind. However, his expression changed, and he looked at the spirit array again. He muttered to himself, "This is not a Grade 4 trapping array, but a Grade 4 concealing array." After the concealing array is activated, it will conceal itself and only reveal the Grade 4 trapping array to confuse people. After figuring out the mystery of the spirit array in front of him, Qin Feng was amused. In fact, Grade 4 concealing arrays were used to conceal the existence of trapping arrays and killing arrays. However, this concealing array hid itself and revealed the killing array, which completely contradicted the purpose of the concealing array. Qin Feng knew that the Binji market had done this for the competition, which made this spirit array look somewhat nondescript. Since Senior 7th Su has stopped, it seems that he can't refine this spirit array. Xiao Feng is still refining the array flags. His acting is really tiring. The result of the spirit array meeting is already very obvious. Senior 7th Su has won this round, but the overall ranking of this genius assembly is still uncertain. Maybe Senior Xiao Feng can still squeeze into the top 10 genius cultivators. The crowd's discussion never stopped. When Su Qi heard all the favorable voices fall on him, his face was full of complacency. The answering speed of this round was extremely fast. Because the participating cultivators basically couldn't recognize the Grade 4 spirit array, many cultivators handed in blank papers. After the answering process was over, Su Qi didn't forget to stand up and show off. Fellow cultivators, although I can't refine this spirit array, I know it's a Grade 4 trapping array. This spirit array meeting is over, and I believe everyone can see that I've already won against Xiao Feng. No one objected to Su Qi's words. However, Su Peng's expression changed slightly. He knew that the third spirit array was not only a trapping array, but also a grade 4 concealing array. However, as a disciple of the Seven Stars Monastery, Su Qi wouldn't publicly undermine him. Moreover, apart from him and the other 3 judges, no one else would recognize the concealing array. Jiang Fian and the other 2 didn't stand up to speak, and Su Peng also pretended not to know. However, before Su Peng announced the result, Qin Feng, who had been refining the spirit array, shouted, "Array, rise!" The shout was so abrupt that the crowd was startled. Tens of thousands of pairs of eyes looked at him. They saw him wave his hand, and hundreds of spirit stones and hundreds of formation flags at his feet flew everywhere. The formation flags were in a mess, and laymen couldn't tell what was going on. However, Su Peng's old eyes were filled with shock, and he couldn't help but exclaim, "How could this be?" He actually set up 4 spirit arrays at the same time. Setting up 4 spirit arrays at the same time. Everyone didn't understand what Su Peng meant, but they saw a shocking scene. Not long after the formation flags fell to the ground, they connected with each other and formed countless rays of light. The spirit stones emitted a faint light, and 4 chi barriers rose to the sky. The spirit array is completed. What kind of spirit array is this? It looks very similar to the third spirit array that Elder Su Peng activated. Oh my god! Since Senior Chao Feng refined the third spirit array, isn't it a grade 4 spirit array? I feel that it's not as simple as the third spirit array. There are also small spirit arrays in this big spirit array. The square was in an uproar. Qin Fen had brought too many surprises to everyone today. However, most of these cultivators were laymen and knew nothing about spirit arrays. They could only make some guesses. However, the 4 judges on the judging panel all stood up with shocked expressions. They looked at the spirit array that Qin Fen had set up in the square in disbelief. Junior brother Su Peng, if I'm not wrong, Chao Feng has set up the Ghost Strike array, grade 3 killing array, and grade 4 trapping array. Bai Yixing's voice trembled. Jiang Fian added, not only these 3 spirit arrays, but also a grade 4 concealing array. It turned out that even Bai Yixing didn't see the existence of the concealing array. The shock in his eyes became even more intense. As for Wu Axian, he was already so shocked that he couldn't speak. Previously, he wanted to kill Qin Fen, but now that he had seen Qin Fen's abilities in all aspects, an inexplicable pressure rose in his heart. City Lord Jiang is right. Chao Feng has set up 4 spirit arrays at once, and he even set them up in a concealing array. His technique is so exquisite that even I can't do it. Since things had come to this, Su Peng couldn't hide it anymore. He knew that Daoist Barefooted was still nearby, and if he angered that old monster, he wouldn't even know how he died. Su Peng's voice wasn't loud, but all the cultivators in the plaza heard it. The originally noisy environment suddenly quietened down to the point that even a pin drop could be heard. Tens of thousands of pairs of eyes stared at Qin Fen, wanting to cut open his head to see how he was different from everyone else. How could this guy be so outstanding in martial arts, alchemy, and spirit arrays? This kind of person deserved to be called a true genius. Compared to the previous Northern Sand Region's #1 genius, Lu Fang, who was compared to Qin Fen, his brilliance instantly dimmed. After a long time, the crowd gradually came to their senses, and the surging sound waves almost exploded the sky. Did I hear wrongly? Elder Su Peng said that Senior Chao Feng has set up 4 spirit arrays at the same time. In other words, Senior Chao Feng has won this round. It said that the third spirit array is a grade 4 concealing array and a grade 4 trapping array. Since young hero Chao Feng can even set up a grade 4 spirit array, he is at least at the level of a grade 4 spirit array grandmaster. No wonder Senior Chao Feng dared to compete with Su Qi. he didn't take Su Qi seriously from the beginning. At this moment, the crowd finally came to a realization. Initially, they thought Su Qi had tricked Qin Fen, but they realized that they had fallen into Qin Fen's trap from the beginning. Zhang Kukuk shouted excitedly and told everyone she saw that Qin Fen was her man. Xiao Li cried tears of joy. She realized that her master was really amazing. No matter where he was still as dazzling as ever. Zhang Bei, it's a wise decision for you to become sworn brothers with young hero Qiao Feng. I was too stubborn earlier. You should interact more with young hero Qiao Feng in the future. The great elder of the North Kun sect took the initiative to apologize to Zhang Bei. This scene frightened Zhang Bei. However, he soon realized that even if Big Brother Qin didn't use his original identity, he could still use his strength to make his name known in the Northern Sand region. The entire plaza was chanting Qiao Feng's name. From this moment onwards, Qiao Feng became a celebrity in the Northern Sand region. Even Qin Fen didn't expect this to happen. He was only here to try his luck and obtain the first prize of the Genius Conference. Chapter 1793. The overall rankings of the Genius competition had been tabulated. Only the top 100 geniuses of the Northern Sand continent had been counted. Unsurprisingly, Qin Fen had obtained the title of the Northern Sand continent's #1 genius, and his reputation had skyrocketed. After Su Qi lost the competition, he disappeared without a trace. It was likely that he couldn't afford to lose face, so he went into hiding. Qin Fen easily won 5 level 5 teleportation formation discs and a treasured saber of the destructive darkness equipment. As for the 1 million spirit stones, he didn't care about it. After storing the formation plate and the treasured saber into his star ring, Qin Feng suppressed his excitement and didn't check the darkness saber directly. Jiang Fian immediately gave him a jade token with the words #1 genius of the Northern Sand region engraved on it. Under Qin Fen's glory, the other participants seemed insignificant. Even Yuan Xue, who had obtained second place, had long been forgotten. 100-Leaf Star and Su Peng were trying to get closer to Qin Fen. Su Peng did not know that Qin Fen had killed 2 elders of the 7-star monastery. Otherwise, who knew how he would react? Wu Axian, on the other hand, stood to the side with a cold face from beginning to end. There was an indescribable sullen feeling in his heart. Actually, when he saw Jiang Fian and the others finish eating the youthful countenance pill, he really wanted to ask Qin Feng for one. But how could he put down his old face? Moreover, even if he really asked, Qin Feng might not give it to him. Young hero Qiao, my father is looking for you. Would you come with me? Yun Chan walked over. The birthmark on her face had completely disappeared. She was no longer wearing a veil, and looked like a young girl in her 20s. Jiang Fian had wanted to ask Qin Fen about the Spirit Immortal Kingdom, but with Yun Chan here, he could not bring it up. Qin Fen could naturally guess what Jiang Fian was thinking. Not only did he know that Jiang Fian wanted to ask him to stay, but 100-Leaf Star and Su Ping also wanted to find him. After all, he had displayed a shocking performance in the genius competition. Whether it was alchemy or formations, he was extraordinary. However, no one had heard of his identity, which was very strange. Just as Qin Fen was thinking about how to escape, Yun Chan came to invite him. He did not think too much and agreed. Next, it was time to receive the rewards. When he received the black gravel steel and star wind sand, Qin Fen wanted to immediately try to create a true treasure imprisonment. However, he endured it. The most important thing now was to leave this place. Sect leader Yun, I have 2 companions with me. I wonder if I can go with you. Yun Chan and Xiao Li had already left the platform and were walking towards Zhang Kuku and Xiao Li. Qin Feng thought that if Yun Chan did not allow him to bring the others with him, he would not go. Of course. Yun Chan smiled. Perhaps it was because Qin Feng's youthful beauty pill had removed her birthmark, but she was very friendly towards Qin Feng. Qin Fen walked over to Zhang Kuku and Yun Chan's side and introduced them to each other. After that, the four of them left. Many cultivators wanted to follow Qin Fen and befriend him, but when they thought about Yun Chan's powerful background, they stopped in their tracks. Along the way, the cultivators were talking about the Genius Conference and Qiao Feng. Zhang Kuku was very excited, but Qin Fen was having a headache. He didn't expect that he would become famous again, and this time, the Spirit Immortal Kingdom would become famous as well. This was not in line with his original intention of building a base in the Spirit Immortal Kingdom. However, at this point, Qin Fen knew that it was useless to say anything. Fortunately, his master Long Qianjun had already stepped into the Nihility God realm. Even if someone found their way to the Spirit Immortal Kingdom, they would not dare to do anything. After walking for 2 hours, they arrived at the outskirts of the Binji market. The spiritual energy in this area was getting denser and denser. Just a breath of it was enough to make one feel refreshed. Sect Leader Yun, where are we? Qin Fen looked at a magnificent city building a few hundred meters away. This is the Misty Cloud sect, my territory. My father is in there, Yun Chan explained. Qin Fen did not know who Yun Chan's father was before. Later on, he heard other cultivators talking about him. He was very interested in the secluded Immortal Reverend. Before he broke through the 3 changes of Buddha aura and triggered the 9 changes True Thunder, he had never heard of the term secluded Immortal Reverend. Sect Leader Yun, pardon me for asking, but how many secluded Immortal Reverends are there in the North Sand Continent? What kind of people are they? Yun Chan smiled and looked at Qin Fen. If someone else asked her about such a secret, she would definitely be reprimanded. However, she had a special relationship with Qin Fen. Perhaps it was because Qin Fen had cured the trouble of her birthmark that had troubled her for more than 30 years. Even if Qin Fen asked about such a secret, she would still know everything. There is a group of hidden cultivators in all 4 continents of the Divine Supreme Continent. They are known as the Secluded Immortal Reverends. They do not belong to any sects or forces and only pursue cultivation. Because they spend most of their time in closed-door cultivation, very few people remember their names. However, this small group of people truly represents the top cultivation level of each continent. My father is one of them. Qin Fen understood a little and immediately asked a new question. If that's the case, the rumor of the North Sand Continent's #1 martial cultivator isn't true. It said that the #1 martial cultivator in the Divine Supreme Continent is the Void God King of the Eastfield Continent. Is that also fake? Yun Chan smiled and said, how should I put it, it's both true and false. Actually, those rumors are not groundless. Perhaps the Void God King was the #1 martial cultivator in the Divine Supreme Continent back then. However, the Divine Supreme Continent is filled with powerful cultivators and the situation is constantly changing. It's hard to say who the #1 martial cultivator is now. However, there's one thing I'm sure of. The North Sand Continent's highest cultivation realm that you've heard about is definitely not true. This is because very few people know about the secluded Immortal Reverends. In the North Sand Continent, it's said that the Void God realm is the highest cultivation realm. However, is there a true God realm godly venerable? I can't guarantee this. Qin Fen was shocked. There was a true God realm godly venerable in the North Sand Continent. How powerful would such a powerful being be? Would he be able to shake the earth with a wave of his hand and swallow the clouds and moon with a breath? Young hero Qiao, we're here. I'll arrange for your 2 friends to rest. You can go in by yourself. Unknowingly, they arrived at the door of a house. Yun Chan had already left with Zhang Kuku and Xiao Li. She had no intention of entering the house. Qin Fen pushed the door open and entered the house. He was not afraid that Yun Chan would harm him because sect leader Yun had already stepped into the middle stage of the true spirit realm. If she wanted to kill him, she would have done it on the way here. Junior Chiao Feng greets Senior Barefoot Enlightened Master. As soon as he entered the house, he saw a white-haired elder standing in the main hall. The elder's body seemed to be shrouded in light and mist, giving off a hazy feeling. Qin Fen immediately guessed that this was just a clone of Barefoot Enlightened Master. However, even with a clone here, the strong and ferocious aura made him feel pressured. He couldn't help but imagine how much pressure he would feel if he stood in front of the Void God Realm Godly Venerable. Hee. Young hero Qin, you don't have to be so courteous. Have a seat. Barefoot Enlightened Master laughed. Qin Fen sat down nearby. As soon as he sat down, he jumped up. Senior Barefoot Enlightened Master, what did you just say? Did you get the wrong person? Ha! There are only 2 of us in this house, and I've set up a soundproof formation. You don't have to disguise yourself anymore. You must be Qin Fen, the one who made the spirit surge pill appear. Qin Fen was stunned and didn't know whether he should admit it or not. This was the first time he met Barefoot Enlightened Master, and he couldn't figure out what this old guy was thinking. Could it be that he wanted the spirit surge pill's recipe? Don't let your imagination run wild. If I really wanted to harm you, you would have died hundreds of times since you entered the Misty Clouds sect and walked to this house. Barefoot Enlightened Master's words were full of arrogance, but Qin Fen didn't have any other thoughts. He knew that Barefoot Enlightened Master was telling the truth. Once Barefoot Enlightened Master made a move, Qin Fen wouldn't even have the chance to hide in the astral world. Senior, what advice do you have for me? Qin Fen simply admitted. I don't dare to give advice. Not long ago, you made the Spirit Surge pill appear, and today, you refined the Soul Beauty pill. You are a rare genius in alchemy, and you are also very talented in martial arts. You are also proficient in formations. If you are allowed to develop for a few decades, your achievements will definitely be above this old man's. Barefoot Enlightened Master was generous with his compliments, but Qin Fen didn't dare to relax. He didn't believe that this secluded immortal venerable came looking for him just to say good things. Sure enough, halfway through, Barefoot Enlightened Master changed the topic and said in a serious tone, a few days ago, there was a great change in the sky above the Jiangbei area. Do you know about this? Qin Fen's heart tightened. Junior doesn't know. Barefoot Enlightened Master looked at him suspiciously and said, You really don't know? Isn't that the sure kill thunder tribulation you triggered? Qin Fen's palms began to sweat. He finally realized why Barefoot Enlightened Master had come looking for him. It was most likely because of the 9 changes real thunder, and a cultivator who could trigger a sure kill thunder tribulation naturally had a supreme cultivation method. This old man most likely wanted to snatch the fortune of heaven and earth art. Don't let your imagination run wild. I already said that if I had any evil intentions towards you, you would have died countless times already. I can kill you first, then break the seal on your storage ring and get your cultivation method and treasure. Why should I waste my breath on you here? Seeing that Qin Fen didn't answer, Barefoot Enlightened Master spoke again. Qin Fen was completely confused. He didn't know what this old man wanted to do. Junior is slow-witted. Senior, if you have something to say, please say it. You don't need to be nervous. I came looking for you because I want to ask you clearly, did you trigger the sure kill thunder tribulation that day? Yes, Junior triggered the 9 changes real thunder. Qin Fen also threw caution to the wind. Anyway, his life and death were already in the hands of Barefoot Enlightened Master. Although they had already guessed it, hearing it from Qin Fen's own mouth, even Barefoot Enlightened Master's expression changed dramatically. It really was a sure kill thunder tribulation. You triggered the 9 changes real thunder and didn't die. What a miracle. This is really a miracle. Qin Fen's mouth twitched. Why did this old man's words sound so annoying? But thinking of the old man's cultivation, Qin Fen had to pretend that he didn't hear anything. After a while of sighing, Barefoot Enlightened Master returned to normal. Qin Fen, do you know that the divine continent has encountered a great calamity that only appears once in 1,000 years? Before each calamity, a powerful venerable descends to this world. This time, the powerful venerable descends to this world is you. These words came so suddenly that Qin Fen was dumbfounded. He even thought of the kung fu that Stephen Chow made on Earth. At this time, Barefoot Enlightened Master was like the old faker who sold Stephen Chow the Buddha's palm. Why did it feel so fake? Chapter 1794. A once-in-1,000 years catastrophe. Senior Barefoot Enlightened Being, could you elaborate? Qin Fen was puzzled. In short, the Divine Supreme Continent has a regular pattern. A catastrophe will occur every 1,000 years. At the same time, before the catastrophe, a few peerless ultimate gods will appear to help the Divine Supreme Continent survive the catastrophe. It's been almost 1,000 years since the Beast Clan's catastrophe. Your appearance coincides with the time and timing of the Tribulation Taker. The more Qin Fen listened, the more confused he became, especially when he realized that the Barefoot Enlightened Being was not joking. How did he become the person who was going through the catastrophe? Moreover, it was a once-in-1,000 years catastrophe. As for the Beast Clan's catastrophe, Qin Fen had never heard of it. Senior, what was the Beast Clan's catastrophe like? Also, did you say that there was more than one person going through the catastrophe? Qin Fen asked. The Barefoot Enlightened Being nodded with an extremely serious expression. There was more than one person going through the catastrophe. After all, it's 1,000 years catastrophe and requires the cooperation of several peerless ultimate gods to resolve it. I wasn't born yet when the Beast Clan's catastrophe happened 1,000 years ago. I only heard about it afterward. At that time, the entire Divine Supreme Continent's Beast Clan tried to rebel and massacred the mainland's cultivators in order to rule the Divine Supreme Continent. At that time, the Beast King's cultivation realm was unfathomable. His strength was at the peak of the Divine Supreme Continent. Even the 9-star sects of the East Field Continent couldn't defeat him. When the entire continent was about to fall, a few ultimate gods suddenly appeared and refined a 9-story beast tower. They imprisoned the Beast King and a group of high-level beasts within it. Only then did the catastrophe end. Qin Fen listened with amazement. He had met a disciple from the 9-star sect of the East Field Continent, Divine Spirit Mountain and the secret land of the fallen god Sea. Xiahou Xing was only the sect's eldest disciple, but he had already stepped into the 4 changes Buddha aura realm. One could see how strong a 9-star sect was. Moreover, according to rumors, the Void God King had only become famous in the past 500 years. However, he had already become the strongest ultimate god on the Divine Supreme Continent and had stepped into the peak empty god realm. Qin Feng was sure that the strongest cultivator 1,000 years ago was many times stronger than the Void God King. It could be seen how powerful the Beast King was. When the Beast King was mentioned, Qin Fen couldn't help but think of his father, Gu Qin. He was the Beast King on Earth and had passed the title to Qin Fen. However, Qin Fen knew that this Beast King was not the real Beast King. His strength was too far away from the Divine Continent's high-level beasts. Senior Daoist Barefoot, I think you must have mistaken me for someone else. Although I have some talent, my cultivation is only at the 3 changes of Buddha aura. If you want to, you can kill me with just 1 palm. Transcending the tribulation is a big matter that still needs you immortal venerables who don't enter the secular world to work together to resist. Senior Barefoot Enlightened Being, I think you must have mistaken me for someone else. Although I have some talent, my cultivation is only at the 3 changes Buddha aura realm. If you want to, you can kill me with a single slap. Transcending the tribulation is something that needs to be done by the secluded immortal venerables. We juniors should just support you in our hearts. As soon as Qin Fan finished speaking, he felt the temperature in the room plummet. The Barefoot Enlightened Being angrily rebuked, "Junior, how dare you say such ignorant words? If I can transcend the tribulation, I will do it even if I have to die. However, the tribulation must be resisted by the person who transcends the tribulation. You are chosen by the heavenly Tao, so you must shoulder the heavy responsibility." Qin Fan was speechless. He suspected that there was something wrong with the old man's head. However, Qin Fan didn't want to provoke him because of the old man's powerful realm. He didn't want the old man to kill him with a slap. Since Senior has said so, then this junior will definitely contribute to the Divine Supreme Continent, even if it means sacrificing my life. Qin Fan was a man who had won the Golden Deer Award on Earth. Acting was as natural as eating. The chill in the room quickly dissipated. The Barefoot Enlightened Being nodded with satisfaction. "That's more like it. I knew you were a responsible person, otherwise, I wouldn't have called you here. Since the new tribulation is coming, you must hurry up and find other people who are transcending the tribulation. We will work together to protect the peace and stability of the entire Divine Supreme Continent." The corner of Qin Fan's mouth twitched. He complained about the old man in his heart. Looking for other people. Was he trying to gather all 7 Dragon Balls to fight the big boss? All right. Don't worry, Senior. This junior will remember this important matter. If Senior has nothing else to say, then this junior will immediately set off to find other people. Qin Fan didn't want to stay here any longer. He was afraid that he would become crazy. Don't be in a hurry to leave. Although you are a person who is transcending the tribulation, you are the weakest person I have ever seen or heard of. To ensure your survival before the tribulation arrives, I will give you some treasures to escape with your life." These words made Qin Fan very unhappy, but when he heard the last sentence, he decided to endure it. "Ha! How embarrassing. What treasures are you going to give me?" Qin Fan smiled. This was a treasure given by a Void God Realm Master, so it must not be too bad. The Barefoot Enlightened Being waved his hand, and several rays of light shot towards Qin Fan. His gift-giving technique was extremely fast. Qin Fan thought that if this was the Barefoot Enlightened Being's attack, he would have died on the spot. Several formation plates fell to the ground, along with a few jade bottles and a few talismans, many of which Qin Fan had never seen before. "I can see that you are a level 4 formation grandmaster. These 3 level 6 defense formation plates are of little use to me, so I will give them to you." Qin Fan's eyes lit up as he looked at the formation plates on the ground. He didn't expect these to be 3 level 6 defense formation plates. Not long ago, he had obtained a level 5 entrapment formation plate at the pair auction, which had trapped the True Spirit Realm Red Flower Hall Master, by Zhang Fei. This level 6 formation plate would probably be useful to late True Spirit Realm and even Void God Realm cultivators. Qin Fan had just put away the 3 level 6 defense formation plates when the Barefoot Enlightened Being continued, "Although you are an elixir king, I'm afraid you are still unable to refine my bottles of elixirs. There is a bottle of Immortal Buddha Elixir, which is the best elixir for late-stage Buddha Light Realm cultivators to break through. It is a level 4 rank 7 King Elixir. There is also a bottle of Void Breaking Elixir, which is a level 5 rank 7 King Elixir. The last bottle is a Void Transformation Elixir, which is a level 6 rank 7 King Elixir for early-stage Nihility God Realm cultivators. As for the higher-grade elixirs, they are useless to you now, and I need them myself." Even Qin Fan, who didn't lack elixirs, was shocked after hearing the introduction of the elixirs. Qin Fen could refine the immortal Buddha elixir out of these 3 bottles, but he didn't have enough materials, so he couldn't refine it. As for the void-breaking elixir and void transformation elixir, he couldn't refine them as a level 4 rank 7 elixir king. Moreover, Qin Fen discovered that after reaching the elixir king level, it was extremely difficult to break through each small level. The higher the grade of elixir, the higher the requirement for the alchemist's level was. Apart from the arrays and elixirs, there were also 3 talismans. Qin Fen had refined talismans in China, but he had refined the lowest grade fireball talisman. That kind of talisman didn't even have a grade in the divine continent. He knew that the real high-grade talismans here were extremely powerful. For example, on the way to the Red Flower Hall assessment, he had obtained a level 5 fire talisman from the bandit Li Sha. Once that fire talisman was activated, its power could instantly kill a level 4 Saint King Realm cultivator. There was also the Saint King exchange on the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce's airship. Du Chun took out a level 6 fire talisman, which could instantly kill a level 9 Saint King Realm powerhouse. Although Saint King Realm powerhouses were like ants to Qin Fen now, one talisman could kill a peak Saint King Realm cultivator, which showed the power of a level 6 fire talisman. A few days ago, Zhang Kuku had used a level 5 Earth Escape talisman to escape from the witchcraft sect. This small talisman had become a life-saving item. These 3 talismans are extremely precious. One of them is a level 7 fire talisman. The talisman maker can inject a heaven and earth mysterious flame into it, and it can kill a peak Saint King Realm powerhouse. The purple talisman is a level 7 thunder talisman. When the talisman maker made a breakthrough to the true spirit realm, he injected the thunder tribulation into the talisman to refine it. It can kill a peak Saint King Realm powerhouse and even severely injure a peak Saint King Realm powerhouse. The last one is a level 7 Earth Escape talisman. Once it is activated, it can instantly teleport thousands of miles away. Even if it is chased by a Nihility God Realm cultivator, it can also disappear without a trace. These 3 talismans were not simple. Qin Fen's favorite was the level 7 Earth Escape talisman. He had many enemies now, including some at the Mid-Saint King Realm and Nihility God Realm. This small Earth Escape talisman could save his life. Although the level 7 Fire talisman and level 7 Thunder talisman did not have much effect on Qin Fen, and he could even kill a peak Saint King Realm powerhouse with his trump card, Qin Fen was enlightened after hearing about the origin of these 2 talismans. In fact, back in China, he had already opened the spiritual talisman palace interface of the hedonist sovereign system. However, he was only an inner chi cultivator at that time, and the spiritual talisman palace required cultivators at or above the true chi stage to refine talismans because the energy of the talisman was transformed from true chi. Now that Qin Fen had stepped into the Buddha light realm, he had no restrictions on using the spiritual talisman palace. Moreover, he also had 2 heaven and earth mysterious flames. Every time he made a breakthrough, he would trigger the thunder tribulation. He pondered in his heart that he could also refine the fire talisman and thunder talisman according to the talisman master's method. Array discs, elixirs, and talismans were all magic treasures rarely seen in the divine continent. Daoist Barefoot didn't give any weapons or cultivation methods because he had seen Qin Fen's Zhenyi sword, which was already a very high-level weapon. As for cultivation methods, since Qin Fen could trigger the thunder tribulation, he must have cultivated a supreme secret manual. Daoist Barefoot didn't want to make a fool of himself. Not long ago, Qin Fen thought that Daoist Barefoot was sick in the head. He just wanted to get rid of this old man as soon as possible. Now that he had accepted so many treasures from him, he felt somewhat embarrassed. "Thank you for your kindness, Senior. I won't stand on ceremony and accept all the items," Qin Fen said politely. Daoist Barefoot rolled his eyes. Those treasures were taken away by Qin Fen as soon as he took them out. How could this kid say such things? However, he didn't care about those treasures. If he could, he would give everything he had to Chin Fun because Chin Fun was the tribulation taker. His fate determined the fate of the entire divine continent. You're tuning into the LoveLore Library YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.